Big poppin', money in the bank, coming, dropping a deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me big poppin'. Money in the bank, coming, dropping a deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me what the topic.
What's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the bar. It's your favorite doc tender and goss tender, that girl Henny, and I'm here to pour up on the Diddy verdict today. Now, I know that there are a lot of people that are covering it, and I was kind of debating this morning as to whether or not I was going to even bother to speak on it. Because it's overkill. And not only that, I'm not there live. So it kind of was like, which way am I going to go with this? Now, if you are new here, welcome to the bar. If you don't know, I did cover this trial live and directly from the Diddy trial for the 2 months that it was there, that it was going on. And so today is sentencing day. Now, I am a little out of it. I have not had my coffee as of yet. I did read to y'all last night the letter that Diddy submitted to the court. I also read to you guys 50 Cent's troll did let you guys know Mia is going to speak out. From just glancing through some of the channels, I can see that there are people that have testified, like Sheree with the Punisher, who was an escort that testified. And he was saying something that kind of took me a little by surprise. He was saying that he felt like it was his testimony that pretty much helped Diddy out. I don't see how, because you did, in fact, testify to the fact that you were trafficked and you were man acted. So I don't know, but anyway. What's popping, everybody? So you know that we're getting ready to read the tweets. We already know how this goes because we're not new to this. We're true to this. Okay, so we know how it goes. This is going to be from Inner City Press. I know there are other people that are covering this through Inner City Press, and you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you are right here with your girl. So I appreciate, oh, look at me in the center, the centaur. Okay, so I see y'all are coming in, but you know, we are waiting for you. Oh, I appreciate that. Hey, Renee, Debony, what's popping? Okay, let me get this screen differently because I don't like this. Okay, so I could go over here in the little corner while this takes center stage. Mama Zay, do me a favor. Can you let everybody know that we are live over here? Please and thank you. Please and thank y'all. So he has already gone into the courtroom. Let's hear what he had to say about today.
Okay, here we are. Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Friday, October 3rd, it's D-Day. Sean Diddy Combs the sentencing will begin today. Hopefully it will finish today. Turns out that at least 4 of his lawyers want to speak. And the judge hasn't said no. Mia will speak from as a victim. The judge upheld that, Judge Subramanian. And at midnight last night, Brian Steele, who's put in a series of letters of support, Miles Guo among them, Palm Beach chaplain of the police there, and Sean Combs' letter himself. But he put in a video. He was supposed to give it to the prosecution at 5 p.m., and I'm sure he did. But at midnight, he put a Dropbox links into the docket. So we Dropboxed, and we put it up. And you can find it. It's well, you can say, I haven't rarely seen that, but it's not the only time I've seen it. I actually do remember a sentencing for another defendant delayed so they could produce a video to try to show the judge who they were. Here, I don't think there's any. I think Subramanian's heard quite a bit of testimony about the days at Revolt, Bad Boy, the family. He's seen the, so I don't really know what it brings to the table. And I wonder whether all of this sort of hoopla is going to drive it into more than one day. That would be ridiculous, because this is the day. And on the one hand, the government wants 11 years. On the other hand, Combs wants time served. So,
oh, y'all didn't hear me. Hold on.
where will he come down? We will be covering it in great detail and live. Now, what else can we say? Here's another. This is a lesser known, but we covered about a week, 10 days ago, the case of it was described as a Queens school teacher, but he was indicted in the SDNY, Christopher Ward. He was detained for a second time yesterday, but we learned and reported, it seems to me it's exclusively, that he was teaching in Manhattan as recently as July and August of this year.
Now, what I was saying when I had paused, because I was talking to Emo, what I had said when I paused was that was conversations that I've had with other people where they were questioning as to whether or not I thought that this would carry on for more than one day. Now, I don't see why or how this could carry on. But I do see how it could carry on for more than a day of sentencing. But, you know, we don't know. Anything is possible. Now, I do have the video that was submitted, and I'm going to play said video for you. It was kind of when I heard that they were doing a video, I felt like, all right, he's probably going to do something to show as a dad and, you know, show different things to put a different image out other than what we've seen. And let's be honest, Diddy is a dad. You cannot say that the man is not active in his children's lives. You cannot say that he's not family oriented with his family, regardless to what he is sitting up in court for right now. You cannot say that. But I do feel like the video is going to be what I thought it was. But I do have it. Let's get into it right now.
What you've given to the world, I don't think you know, man.
When my baby cries.
You gotta give her a bottle then.
Know that you mean something to people. Know that you mean something to people. Like you live somewhere in people's heart.
My nose fell off! No, my lip fell off! Thank you. You wear it?
You inspire, you energize, and you've left that for the rest of the existence of this planet, man.
One thing about great producers is they make you want to do better and be better about what you do. And he made me feel like I could do anything and go anywhere.
I'm from New York. I love New York. I love the city of New York. I love the children of New York. I wanted to do something good. I wanted to get my generation in the hip-hop community behind us. They come through in a big way. And we wanted to raise some money for the children of New York City for health and education. We have a huge education crisis. And, you know, this is just a start. It's something we're going to be committed to. I'm going to be committed to for a lifetime. And it's no better way than taking it to the streets. It's a beautiful city running all around. The city's going to be painful. It's going to be rough. But, you know, if we get through it, then it'll show kids and everybody else that, you know, finish what you started and you can do anything you put your mind to. Any of y'all go to public school?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all running to raise money for your schools. So y'all get more books and computers and stuff like that. I just feel like it's important that us, you know, young adults of power, that we look out for y'all. And we utilize our power to make sure y'all all right in the future. Put everything you can into your work, you know. Don't think the cool thing is not to do your work. Don't think the cool thing is to hang on the corner with your friends and to talk about stuff that ain't gonna protect your future.
What did you learn about him as a man who was taking up a new sport?
Well, you know, I was actually very impressed. You know, a lot of people think it's just a celebrity stunt, that he isn't serious about his running. He is as serious about his running, has been the last 9 weeks, as a lot of these guys in the lead pack. I mean, he's really devoted and dedicated himself to running. You know, he's had some knee problems, and a lot of people don't think he's going to finish. He is going to finish, even if he has to do it on one leg, because he's raised a lot of money for kids' charities, and he's not going to let all those people down.
Let's go. Where we going? We're going straight to the top, baby. Let's go is a constant reminder. Let's go. Boom. Live in the present. Sometimes, you know, you daydreaming. Sometimes, you know, Uncle Diddy got to hit you with let's go.
Clap it up on the sideline. Let's get our energy right. Come on.
To make sure that you pursuing your dream, that you staying focused. Let's go. Let's keep going forward. Let's go means let's be positive. Let's take it up another notch. Let's go spend time with our kids. Let's go. Let's give thanks to God. Let's go. You know, let's turn it up. Let's get in the vocal booth. Let's stop procrastinating. Let's go. You know, let's understand what it's going to take to achieve that dream. So instead of talking about the guns and the violence, I was always talking about a better life. Places we didn't go before. Things we never wore. Cars we never drove. Houses we never lived in. I think I brought an aspiration to hip-hop. Tried to take it out of just being street. Our whole stuff was a fantasy and a dream that I always felt would come true.
Yes, court has started, Joey.
I started out just like you guys. I come from New York. I grew up in Harlem. I used to have to wear a uniform every day. Had to get up early in the morning, had to travel to go to school. I worked hard, just like you guys are working. This country and this world we live in may have planned for y'all. I didn't listen to that, and I don't want y'all to listen to it either. Y'all are great. Y'all are kings. Y'all are queens. Y'all are leaders. I just got so excited because this is truly a dream come true for me. And I'm happy to say this is our third school we have opened. It's official. When we come together as a people, nothing can stop us. But what I want to do with my freedom is, you know, make sure that I can make change.
And I found out that Mr. Sean Diddy Combs posted me on Instagram.
We met Sean Diddy Combs for the first time, and Sean gave Trey a $25,000 grant, which allowed us to open a physical store.
Revolt, as one of the only Black-owned networks, we have to own something. We have to have something that's ours. We have to have something that we can control our narrative, and we could speak about things that are important to us, and we can have a platform and a foundation to be free. But I want to get advice from y'all. I want to not just have a one-way conversation.
We need a platform where they can put artists that are different, really different, that wouldn't get a shot on other stations.
Working for Revolt TV and working for Diddy was absolutely life-changing. It was the best job I've ever had. I learned excellence through him.
I don't see enough.
Okay, so Revolt TV, we heard a lot about Revolt TV when Mia was there. And yes, you guys, you are absolutely correct. He is absolutely 1000% showing all of the good deeds. This is like he's coming out swinging to try to sway Judge Aaron Submarinian. Arun. I still don't know if we're saying his name right. To go with what he wants. So this is part of his tactic.
Everything is truly changing. And I don't understand how we are the richest, most powerful country in the world, and it seems like we can't solve the problems within our own community. African American communities are last. And the only people that are going to change that is us. We have to stand strong together, and we have to get to that change. You will change the world.
I've been to hell,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna make it.
you're going to make it, that's right. And I got something for you. Remember I told you I had a present for you?
Yeah. I ain't that pretty.
This is a heart, because you're my heart.
Oh.
All right?
Okay.
You my heart.
Okay.
May God bless you and keep you happy and keep you thinking positive. Everything's not going to be perfect at this time in life. And you're a good person that understands reality. So we're gonna accentuate the positives in life. Because you're doing great, girl. You're doing great.
God knows.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing great. I want you to be happy about your life. You're doing great. We got a lot of living to do now. Don't have me come behind me. I'll be taking you everywhere. We going everywhere.
Hang out together.
Okay, what you mean?
So, of course, this is what is going on. He has actually put together a compilation video. There is a few more minutes left in this. We'll come back to it. But right now, I would like to get started with Inner City Press. So, hey, shout out to Blue Rock TTV. Shout out to my Bread River. Hey, Nino Black. I see everybody is up here in the building, slowly trickling in. Now, let's be very clear. I am not one of the sector faves any longer. Since the verdict came out, a lot of people felt away and feel away on the stance that I have taken. But during the trial, I felt it was my job to give everybody a perspective of what was going on and to really focus on the case and what it is that they were presenting to us. Now, that's Diddy's video that will be played in court. It's about 12 minutes long. Okay. And so will that sway the judge? Has it swayed any of you? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you are with us from Twitch, let us know as well. Either yay or nay. It has let you, giving you a different perspective. So now, Inner City Press started 29 minutes ago and says, as Combs's lawyers mill around, he has still not been brought out. Thank you, Mango Gelato, for the super chat. She says, hey, Henny, why show all of this now? He needs to be held accountable for his actions. I totally agree with you. And again, this is a part of smoke and mirrors, right? He wants out, and he's going to do any and everything to try to get out. That's what this is all about. He's trying to get out. But as I'm watching this video, I'm like, okay, we're showing this side of him. And we know that this side of him exists. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I was very disappointed. I was let down. I think all of you feel the same way. You were let down. Hearing all of the egregious acts that had taken place and all of the heinous things that were done behind closed doors. So behind all of this greatness that you're showing us, there was still another side going on. There was still something else going on. You can't just cover that up in wrapping paper and say, oh, look over here. Don't look over here. The smoke and mirror is not going to work. It's not going to work this time. The people know what's been going on. We sat there. We listened to all of the testimony. We heard everything. And that's what's playing in my head is while all of this is being shown to the world, there was something else going on behind the scenes. Sorry, not sorry. Those are the facts of the case. And it's not about hating Diddy. I was disappointed by Diddy. I was disappointed by him. Yes, we heard the rumors. Yes, we heard the rumblings. I was really hoping that none of this was going on. But you know what? For me, if this was going on, I question what else was going on behind the scenes. And that's just me. Those are my thoughts. I'm entitled to them. I'm entitled to that. But now let's get into the tweets. Thank you so much. W Emo in the chat for the coffee, you guys, because I didn't even have a chance to get my coffee. There was only a little bit of creamer in there, so I don't know if it's still gonna taste better. It's fine. It's perfect. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, as Combs's lawyers mill around, he has still not been brought out. A U.S. Marshal brings out a big sheaf of paper and a red book, picks up a chair and searches underneath it. All clear. At 9:56 a.m., Combs's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, and Brian Steele were talking low next to the lectern. I don't know what that is, but Alexandra Shapiro stands with Nicole Westmoreland, and prosecutors are seated at the front table, -1. Maureen Comey. Dun, 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 which we already knew she wasn't going to be there, but the dramatics of it all, right? The dramatics of it all. All right, so at 10:05, the judge's clerk. Are we ready to proceed? Was that Mr. Donaldson who went back into the holding cell? Yes. Now waiting on Combs to be brought out. At 10:11 a.m., Sean Combs was brought in. I'm saying was because this already happened. Okay, was brought in a white shirt. He puts his papers under the table, leans back and blows a kiss to the gallery, his mother. Brian Steele standing next to him, whispering in his ear. At 11:17 a.m., all rise. This is U.S. versus Sean Combs. Judge Submaranian, Do we have the signed order of forfeiture? AUSA Slavic. Yes, I'm handing it up. Submarinian. First, I'll go over that I have received and I'll go over what I have received and the pre-sentencing reports. I'll hear from the parties. I've received the defendant's reply memo on October 2nd and the letter from Mr. Combs and the video the defense plans to play here in court. I appreciated the letters. I've received the government's letters from Ms. Ventura and others. I appreciate them. Alexandra Shapiro. We're going to submit a course of evaluation from MDC, AUSA Slavic. We don't have a copy. Judge Submarinian, please give her one. AUSA Slavic. Mia no longer wishes to address the court here today, in part due to the letter submitted by defense bullying. Now pause, because very interesting, because I was very curious as to whether or not Mia was still going to go into that court. And I will say that the letter that the government the defense presented was very heinous and egregious, and it was nasty in tone. It was unprofessional, and it did everything but call her a lion Mitch with the B word. And that was horrible. That was horrible. That sounded like something that I would write to somebody that was just a regular, smegular person that I thought was a liar. Child. Now they done bullied Mia out of coming and testifying in open court. Not only that, you got to think about this. You've got bloggers, YouTubers, because you can't even say it was legacy media, because I have yet to see legacy media say, except for Lisa Everts, call any of them liars and all of that stuff. But these YouTubers have been calling everybody liars. So you got to think about this. Mia was going to come into open court. She was going to face Diddy. She was going to read her victim impact statement. She was going to face him and not give testimony, but speak from her pain, from her place of hurt. And now she's been bullied out of that. That should speak volumes. All right. Slavic goes on to say, we think the defense's letters violated Your Honor's rule. So Judge Submarinian says, I thought the tone was inappropriate and it should not happen again. Anything beyond Mr. Combs? So Brian Steele says, the Reverend and Mr. Combs' children will come up and stand together. They're putting on a production, you guys. They're putting on a production, okay? So Brian Steele says also Giovanni from the program. I guess that this is somebody from the program. I guess his program. I don't know. We're going to find out. All right. So the judge says, Ms. Slavic. So AUSA Slavic says Rule 32 only applies to the parties and victims. The court is within its rights to exclude character witnesses. Judge Furman has used this to limit defense's witnesses. So Judge Submarinian says, but I can allow them, correct? As I overruled the defense wanting to exclude Mia. So AUSA Slavic says, within your discretion. So Judge Submarinian says, Mr. Steele, okay for the children and Dr. Johnson. Okay. So he's going to have Reverend Dr. Johnson speak on his behalf. Mm-hmm. And the judge says, I think I'll think about the others. Child. Now, Judge Submarinian goes on to say, now, as to the objections, the defense says acquitted conduct cannot be considered. There is no guidance from any court on this. We don't know what the jury was thinking, but it's about overlapping conduct, and it only impacts the advisory guideline range. Let's go back over what the judge just said, because baby, isn't this what I've been telling people? See, this is my problem. People be so blinded by the glitz, glamour, and celebrity, and so blinded by all the smoke and mirrors out here that they don't hear what's being said. Didn't I say that the guidelines are suggestive? Didn't I say the overlapping conduct? ThatGirlHenny in the chat, please, because I'm understanding this. Judge Submarinian says, Now, as to the objections, the defense says acquitted conduct can't be considered. And this is what you have heard being hollered and screamed on multiple YouTube channels. The judge says there is no guidance from any court on this. We don't know what the jury was thinking, but it's about overlapping conduct. And it only impacts the advisory guideline range. Advisory. Okay? So the judge goes on to say acquitted conduct can be considered. See U.S. versus Vaughn, Second Circuit, and other cases. Even matters that cannot be considered for the guidelines can be considered under 3553, A. The U.S. obligation, the U.S. objections they argue for the criminal sexual abuse guideline. Now we're waiting, and we're waiting. We're waiting for a new tweet. We're waiting for a new tweet. See, this is why I like to get them to kind of, pardon me, y'all. I really, really, really woke up, washed my face, brushed my teeth, got my clothes on. Now I have my coffee. I am ill prepared facially. Ba-doom boom. Psh. Now, the judge is basically saying, look, I'm going to use whatever I want to use. Can't tell me what to use. Okay. I want to make sure that my sound is good. Okay. Because the last time my sound was really kind of janky, and I like having the music on because then when I'm quiet, if I'm thinking about something or doing something, then it's not so bad. You know what I'm saying? That I get quiet. If the sound is raggedy, you guys have to let me know. Okay, so now let's get into some of y'all comments really quickly. So what have you guys been saying? I don't think Diddy will ever change. Okay, over on Twitch, they say money pay for evilness, and his lawyers are regret money pay for evilness, and his lawyers are regret being his lawyers. Oh, his lawyers will regret being his lawyers? Possibly. If Diddy gets anything less than 5 years, Brian Steele will be officially the lawyer of the year. This is true. Yes, a reverend. Oh, no. His name is Reverend Dr. Johnson. Okay. Good morning, Danielle. Just home from my night shift. What's going on? So Diddy is being sentenced today, and it's a lot of hoopla that has been going on already. Okay. Did I miss something? Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, here we go. Patty, welcome to the channel. She says, that just shows how people can be a light to some and a monster to others. I believe that and have witnessed being in the midst of someone that people see as a blessing, but you know the other side. Absolutely, Patty. Absolutely. Nino Black says, Miss Uniquely, how is you? Okay, so Uniquely Nino Black was asking about how you are today. My dear says there was a demon running wild. Yikes. Okay, Diddy's bad behavior was brought to the light. Rocky Mama says Diddy will still. Okay, so Diddy would still be doing this to his victims had he not been exposed. Yeah. So Goddess says, if they're going to show these clips, then they might as well bring up City College. Girl, they're not going to bring up City College. You know they're not going to bring up City College. Okay, you know they're not going to bring up City College. That doesn't fare well for him to bring up City College. This is terrible. There's nothing else. Okay, I'm just going through the email to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Now let's check and see if there is anything going on with the inner city press. Maybe there's some new tweets. Okay. So we have some new tweets. All right. So Judge Submaranian continued and said, there is little precedent on what type of threat is required, but bodily harm makes most sense. Concrete harm. To force Jane and Miss Ventura to engage in SMEX acts, does this conduct establish the convicted conduct? Does this conduct establish the convicted conduct? There was the fight in Cannes. Did that meet the requirement of bodily harm threat? There was evidence of that in the case with respect to the hotel nights and freak-offs. But in light of the constitutional questions raised, the court declines to apply the cross references. So the judge is not playing at all. The judge is not playing at all. And see, look at this. I want to click on this reply right here. The judge is going to look at all of Diddy's conduct. Diddy is about to see a book thrown at him. That's what this person, Dr. Marcy Martins, believes, is that he's going to have the book thrown at him. And this is what I was trying to tell people, but people were not listening. Not you guys, because you guys that have stuck around, you guys are here because you want to hear what is going to happen and where the judge could possibly be going. And the fact of the matter is, while people may not like what I have to say, I have pretty much been on point with where the government is coming from. Can you guys hear me good? Is it trashy? Is it raggedy? Because last time the audio was really raggedy and you guys didn't tell me. You guys didn't tell me. I said, why was they sitting there allowing me to look crazy in these streets? Hold on. Trashy? Is it raggedy? Because last time the audio was okay. No, it's good. It's good. It's good. I think the last time I forgot to turn my mic on. So let's do a little dig for a second because I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, so Tisa is down there today.
He was let off on the more serious counts. He's still, though, facing up to 20 years in prison.
But it's almost unheard of to get that sentence.
All right, here we go. This is some coverage from Fox New York of this morning. While we wait for some tweets, I want to wait for the tweets to kind of like to kind of build a little bit. I like when they build and we're able to read them like a story. Now, outside, you see that there is legacy media. You see that there is new media is what they are calling us. And that was the line in the back, you guys, behind, like, by the trees. That looks like that's the line for the people to go into court, the regular line. I think they've already, by the time this had happened, they had already brought those who had signed up to get into court. Okay, so let's see if we can see. This is when the sprinter pulled up. Let's see who has pulled up with them. Now, this gentleman here, he has always been there. Like, he's there. That's the bodyguard. You're gonna see oh God, Raheem, what was his name? The security guard that people were talking about. That's him right there. He still works for Diddy. He still works for Diddy. And he was brought up. The fan funding was not there. Okay, so Pills Spills asked, why are you not there? The fan funding was not there. I wasn't going to spend out of pocket like I did the last time to go up there. I just wasn't. So the fan funding wasn't there. And I said that at the Diddy trial, that if the fan funding was there, I would come back, but it wasn't. So I'm not. Instead, we're covering it this way. And listen, I'm good covering it this way. Don't misunderstand. Life is lifing for a lot of people, you guys. Okay. So I understand and I get it. I freaking get it. Okay. But yeah, so there goes Quincy. There's Jesse and Delilah. The daughters are there. This is Kim Porter's best friend right here. I don't remember her name, but this is Kim Porter's best friend. And let me just say this. At one point in time, she was speaking out against Diddy. Now she supports him. Interesting. Okay, so that was all that came out of that sprinter. I don't know if there's a secondary sprinter. I see a lot of new faces from this camera angle. I don't see anybody that I know. Now, I know that Uda is down there. Shout out to Uda on Go. He's out there. I know Mel is out there watching the World 777. He's out there. Tisa is out there, of course. Tisa was there this morning. Okay, and here comes the other black truck. That's why I said I didn't know if somebody was behind. And this should be the one with the rest of the family, all right? So, I'm not sure who this gentleman is, but there is Baby Love's mom. He didn't get a good camera angle of Baby Love's mom. Side-eyeing hard, cameraman. Okay, here comes another black truck.
I'm not sure. He was a little more. Keep going up. Go up a little more.
You know, Young Miami wrote that letter, right? She wrote that letter in support of Diddy. But to my understanding, she's not in that courtroom. Would you have liked to see Henny Glasses in the chat wherever you are, whether you be on YouTube or Twitch? Henny Glasses in the chat if you would have liked to have seen Young Miami show up to court, being that he's a good man, Savannah. I think that's Keisha. Is that Keisha? I'm not. No. That's King's girlfriend right there. So there goes King. King has arrived. Nope, Virginia is not there either. There goes the rest of the boys. He said, my glass just broke, so that don't count. No, Brother River. Okay, there goes Charlucci. There goes Misa Hinton. I'm not sure who this young lady is. I think that might be Justin's girlfriend. I'm not sure. He took a moment to survey the crowd. Yeah, there goes Justin right there. Let me tell you, Justin has a very meek spirit to him. Now, I don't see Mama Combs. I don't know where Janice is. And it's interesting because Charlucci does not usually go inside until the whole family is inside. Let me tell you, there's a lot of new people down there. There's people that want to see what's going to happen with Diddy. There's people that want to see what's going to happen with Diddy. All right, let's check back in. Let's put a pause on this and let's check back in with Inner City Press because we should have some new tweets, and we do. So Judge Submaranian continues to go on, and he says, since I consider it under 3553A, it does not impact the sentence. Next, Mr. Combs' marking of pads as legal, that was troubling, but the intent is not clear. The government could have pushed to clarify it, so I will not apply the enhancement. The government's objections to probation not considering Jane and Miss Ventura as vulnerable victims, I overrule this. What made Combs's coercion effective was their condition. Anyway, the court would reach the same conclusion now. Mr. Combs' objections. Mr. Combs' objections to characterizing Miss Ventura and Jane as victims, that is overruled. Mr. Combs also objects to the escorts, were characterized as victims. That is also overruled. They were transported for the purposes of engaging in commercial smex. There was Jules and Paul and Cabral and Reggie and Rico. As to coercion, when something, if you volunteer it, I don't know, uncompelled, that is a form of Black's Law Dictionary. It is a broad conception. The threat to release videos and to Jane's home, that's coercion. Okay, so basically, see, this is why I don't know if okay, I'm not going to do that. So basically what he's saying is what I have been saying to you guys as well. Anything that's offered that could be considered, you know, voluntarily, like, here, I'm going to give you this. What is that other page? I can't remember the other page. If anybody remembers the other page that was doing transcripts for the Diddy trial, it's not Diddy dockets. It was another one. Anyway, they break it down a little bit differently. You know, no offense. Shout out to Inner City Press because he doesn't have to do this, but he does. Basically, he's saying that's BS. There is coercion here. Okay, there is definitely coercion here. Oof. Hold on, you guys.
For another chance. So Diddy and his attorneys, they're asking that essentially he granted the permission to leave. He not serve any more time than he already has. He's already been in custody, in federal custody, for about 14 months. The prosecutors, they're saying he should have to serve between 10 and 11 years, something along those lines. The judge here will have to decide that case. We want to go to Antoine Lewis, who is outside of the courthouse. Antoine, can you set the scene for us? I mean, we know that there's a lot of media out there. We know there's a lot of supporters and Diddy's family members. Some of them just walked in a few minutes ago. What are you seeing out there?
Well, Dan, exactly everything that you're saying is what's taking place here. We did just see the family arrive. Ward McCorney, our photojournalist who's been covering that door, and he's kind of roving around, keeping his eye on things. That roving camera that you were just referencing, he's the mobile one of that. So he just got the video of the family going in. The mother had gone in earlier. But the media circus, if you will, as we all know what that entails, is certainly in effect down here. As far as across the street where the podium is set up, now there hasn't been that much of a gathering gathering of the people that we saw during the trial, like that. We anticipate that happening later. It is just 10 o'clock, so the proceeding, as we imagine, is just started right now. But as far as what we can tell you as far as this goes, the music that you normally would see, some of that, I was coming down here to the courthouse, noticed a little bit of that, a couple of signs, you know, but that mass magnitude that you normally would see of both supporters and those who are non-supporters of Sean Combs, you know, that is starting to assemble a little bit now. And that's always the case when you have trials where the players, if you will, the main characters are of such degree, such celebrity as your Sean Combs, or, you know, just around the corner when Harvey Weinstein was on trial. So, you know, you expect that type of gathering down here. But as you pointed out, prosecutors were looking for no less than 13 months. That's 11 years and 3 months. The defense is saying that accounting for time served, they wanted no more than 14. He's already done a year, which conceivably means that he could be out by the end of the year. As far as what he will say when he addresses the court, well, you know, Lisa Evers is inside. She's been covering this ever since the 8-week trial wrapped up in July, and when he was found guilty of the lesser of those two charges, the lesser of the charges, convicted on 2 counts of transportation to commit prostitution, which, as you pointed out, carries a maximum of 10 years each. So he's looking at potentially 20, as opposed to the maximum life in prison, which was associated with the charges that he was acquitted of. So that's what's going on here. We will also be joined by Seth Zuckerman, you know, one of our attorneys who's been weighing in on this during the trial and in the months leading up, the weeks leading up to where we are today. We'll be bringing you that as well. But Dan, from here, we're going to send things now back inside to you.
You know, Antoine, you've covered so many cases in Lower Manhattan over the years, so many high-profile figures who have been in and out of this courtroom.
All right, so we have more from Inner City Press. All right, so the last thing that we were talking about was Black's Law Dictionary. Now, what I also wanted to do really quickly, Black's Law Dictionary definition of coercion. Let's see what they see. Okay, so Black's Law Dictionary says coercion. It's defined as compulsion or force to compel someone to act against their will. It involves the use of power, often through threats, or the unlawful application of force or restraint to overcome a person's free will and make them do something they would not otherwise do. So that is the definition of coercion, that to compel by force or threat. That is what Black's Law Dictionary actually defines coercion as. Okay, now let's get into the new tweets that have come out. So basically, you know, Judge Submaranian is saying, according to the Black's Law, because that's a lot of what has been quoted. All right, this defines it. And the reason that it's defined as coercion is because of the threats to release the videos and the damage to Jane's home. And I'm quite sure he brought up other things as well. What are you talking about, Pill Spills? Now you'll go in timeout because we don't mention other people's content creators in the chat. Timeout. Bye-bye. See you later. All right. So Judge Submaranian goes on to say, Mr. Combs said he was paying for time, not SMEX. That is contradicted by reality. He has not expressed remorse for transporting people for prostitution. What did I say to y'all? What did I say to y'all? What did I say to you? Didn't I say we've been talking about remorse over here? I knew it. Okay, he hasn't shown any remorse for transporting people for prostitution. Combs has challenged his guilt full-throatedly, including after trial. Mr. Combs wants to apply the 0-point offender provision from 2023, but 2024 on other issues. That is not possible. Under Second Circuit's one book rule, okay? So he's saying, oh, well, under this, use this, and under this, use that. And he's like, that's not how this goes, okay? Next, Mr. Cohn objects to the $5,000 assessment. I thought it was $50,000 assessment under the statute because there are no victims. That's denied. Yes, I have the forfeiture order. Is that your signature, Mr. Combs? Diddy says, yes, sir. Judge Submaranian says, Mr. Steele, did you review it? Teeny Garrigo says, I did. So Judge Submaranian says, I incorporate the order into the judgment in this case. So it looks like there may be some forfeiture going on, you guys. All right. Judge Submaranian goes on to say, all remaining objections are overruled. He didn't even go through any more of the objections, child. He said all the remaining objections, they're overruled. Like, I'm not about to go through all of this. They're overruled. Right? So Teeny Garrigos for Diddy says, although you say some points don't impact your sentence, it might impact his eligibility for low categorization if you impose an incarceratory. Wait, let's see. You know what I'm about to do. I don't even act like you brand new over here. You know what we about to do. We about to see how you say this word. How you say this word over here. Okay. I'm not ashamed to say I don't know how to say a word. Incarceratory sentence. So Judge Submaranian says, we'll address that. So Teeny says, if necessary. So Judge Submaranian goes on and says, no. Alexandra Shapiro stands up. Now, let me tell you something about Alexandra Shapiro. Alexandra Shapiro is very passionate. Okay, I've watched her in court when things didn't go as she thought they should. I watched her kick the chair and fold her arms and turn her back to the judge. Like she's really like, let me tell you something. We may not like the way that they're doing their job, but these are the types of lawyers that you do want to defend you when something is going down, because the smoke and mirror they put up, baby, that ish is they are doing a damn good job. They do a damn good job. I cannot hold you. Okay. So Alexandra Shapiro says, I'd like to make some more points. We briefed extensively. So the judge says 380 pages. So I guess she's already sent 380 pages, right? So Alexandra Shapiro says, we raised due process, the fairness concerns set forth by Justice Sotomayor. We believe militate for our interpretation and preclude the court under 3553. Now, we keep hearing about this 3553. Let's see if we can look it up. Okay, so 3553 refers to outlines the general factors federal courts must consider when imposing a sentence. Okay, it also includes, you know what? Let's go here and let's learn a little as we go along. Okay, so this is for imposing a sentence. Okay, so it says A, factors can be considered in imposing sentences. The court shall impose a sentence sufficient but not greater than necessary to comply with the purpose set forth in paragraph 2 of this subsection. The court, in determining the particular sentence to be imposed, shall consider the nature and circumstances of the offense and the history and characteristics of the defendant. Let's read that again. Okay, they shall consider, let me highlight it, the nature and circumstances of the offense and the history and characteristics of the defendant. Okay. And in subsection 2, it says the need for the sentence imposed. Okay. It says A, must reflect the seriousness of the offense to promote respect for the law and to provide just punishment for the offense. B, offer adequate deterrence in criminal conduct, meaning it has to deter him away from doing it and others as well. Okay. C, to protect the public from further crimes of the defendant, and D, to provide the defendant with needed educational or vocational training, medical care, and other correctional treatment in the most effective manner. Now, I could say this one right here doesn't ever really happen. Okay. Subsection 3 says the kinds of sentences available. So subsection 4 says the kinds of sentence and the sentencing range established for A, the applicable category of offense committed by the applicable category of defendant as set forth in guidelines, okay? Issued by Sentencing Commission pursuant to Section 994A1 of Title 28 United States Codes. Subjects that any amendment made to such guidelines by act of Congress, regardless of whether such amendments have yet to be incorporated by the sentencing. Okay, that doesn't apply here. All right, so then we go to B. In the case of a violation of, so that's it. We've read everything that we needed to read. But this right here, I want you guys to remember this, that a judge, okay, the court in determining the particular sentence to be imposed shall consider the nature and circumstances of the offense and the history and characteristics of the defendant. Remember that. I told y'all that that was what they were going to look at. And now here we are. All right. So let's get back over here to Inner City Press. So Shapiro says, I want to preserve this for appeal. Should there be any an appeal of your sentence? Now, I'm going to pause right there and say this. Child, you already know that there is going to be an appeal immediately following the sentencing if it's not what they want it to be. I am willing to guarantee you that they already have their appeal typed up and ready to go. They already have it typed up and ready to go. So Judge Subramanian says it's preserved. The PSR says the offense level is 27. I agree with that. The criminal history category is 1. That leads to a guideline of 70 to 87 months. Ooh, 70 to 87 months, you guys. Is that the 3 years? Is that the 3? Let me see. Okay, so 87 months is 7.25 years. 7.25 years at 87 months, okay? At 70, that's 5. I told y'all 5. I said 3 to 5. But we're looking at the 27 right there leads to 5 to 7 years. Oh, that's 6? She said that's 6. Is it? Girl, don't play with me because I just put that in the calculator. That's 72. Okay, that's 72. 70. That's about 5 and change for the 70. Okay, and then when you get to the 87 months, we're between 5 and 7 years. So he may get 6 years. Okay, I'll hear from the government. Yeah. Yes, I know uniquely it's 5.8. It's 5.8. I know. But we're looking at it. It's going to be between that 5 and that 7. Okay? It's going to be 5 to 7. We're not rounding up, girl. We're not rounding up, girl. Well, actually, you know what? We could round up and we could also round down. and it would still come to 6 years. So are we looking at 6.5 years, you guys? I don't know. All right, so Judge Submarinian says, I'll hear from the government. So AUSA Slavic stands up, right? And she says, I'd like to respond after the defense as well, right? Today has been about accountability and justice for 15 years. 15 years. The victims' lives have been shattered by abuse and exploitation. This is not just a case about freak-offs in hotel rooms. This is about victims harmed, I think he meant. About a man who did horrible things to other people. His currency was control. He weaponized it. All of that, all of the 35, 53 factors point to at least 135 months. Well, that's 11 years. They're going for the gusto. So she goes on, the defense accuses us of seeking 135 months so that the court splits the difference. We think probation's recommendation of 60 months does not account sufficiently for the harm to Cassie and Jane. The defendant tries to argue this is just a sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle. But this is a case about transportation, the prostitution, and violence. See, they don't want to hear that part. They don't want to hear that. Just keep saying, it's domestic violence. But at the end of the domestics is what? You guys say it down in the chat for me. At the end of domestic, what's the next word? The defendant admitted to the violence at trial. The defendant's respect for the law is lip service. Ooh. Mr. Combs has booked speaking engagements for Miami for next week. I know you lying. Wait a minute. No, hold on. Wait a minute. Because y'all in the chat are not cooperating, okay? Y'all was supposed to be typing it up. At the end of domestic is what? What comes after domestic in the title? It's domestic violence, right? So after domestic comes what? Thank you, Gina. See, Gina, you paying attention. You here. And they're talking about the violence. And that's what I kept telling people. This is about violence. It's not just about domestic violence. It's violence. Hey, Ari Boo Boo. There we go. See? I know. See, maybe I love y'all. Y'all get it. Y'all here. We here. Child. Speaking engagements for Miami next week. If he gets out today and he got a speaking engagement, I'm going. Do you hear me? If he's going to be in his Emmy, this is what I'm saying. He guarantees I'm going to be out. I'm going to book these speaking of. Let me sip this coffee. Let me sip this damn coffee. He did this for 15 years. He was responsible for transporting many escorts. That's a lot of freak-offs and a lot of hotel nights. He knew it was illegal. We ain't got no new tweet right now. My face. See somebody else. Wait, hold on. For next week, my face right now. Speaking engagements booked for next week is crazy. Yo, this is crazy work. I don't know what time the verdict is, babes. They're in court right now. They're arguing it down right now. Swagger, if Diddy gets out and he has a speaking arrangement in Miami, you going? Oh, you looking for where she's at? Uniquely, she is Twitch. You gonna go? I want to know what he got to say. They better not, because he best be locked up deep in the prison. Not deep in the prison. What? They may need him to do other ish, so they gonna let him out under watch and key. I can't blame him for trying to be positive and bring it into existence. McMommy, he's trying to manifest it. I ain't gonna hold you. He said, I can't wait for this reply. Listen, inner city press, we need you to tweet faster. Okay, tweet faster, sir. Tweet faster. Because we waiting. What is the response? We ain't get one yet. Shawnee says he will get 8 years. Shawnee, where were you last night when we had the panel? We was talking about it. I was letting y'all get it out. Okay, listen. We piling up, baby. I will listen. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? We all going. We gonna be right there, front center. Like what was it? What had happened? Oh, a fire. We're gonna hear it. Did I say your name right? Afaya? Is it Afaya or Afaya? The first one or the second? She said ThatGirlHenny 5 years. I don't know. This is looking crazy. Come on, Judge. We still ain't got no action yet. Plus, I wouldn't be invited to one of his parties. The ninja I am. I'll be right there throwing eggs and rotten tomatoes. Yo. Good morning. Top of the top to you. We needed you up there. I understand that, but I wasn't coming out of my pocket for that. And life was lifing. Do you hear me? Life was lifing. So I needed to take care of what I needed to take care of. I know y'all needed me up there because there's going to be people that are spinning narratives from both sides. Like it's crazy. They put money in this dude. He is their main handler. This is a lesson. Never think you're bigger than the highest. He learned. You think he learned? I wish I was up there because I would be there with my little notepad, taking my notes, giving you guys the Henny in its entirety. We got action. Now, I don't be waiting for, So Slavic says, even in cases that decline to apply the cross-reference, sufficient sentences are handed down, including in this district. Consider U.S. versus Dylan Jordan. So Inner City Press covered that. He had to put his shameless plug in there that he covered that trial. So now we're going to wait because, baby, we want to hear what the judge got to say. Okay. What is the judge going to say to him I'm quite sure that this pissed the judge off. Oh, shoot. Real Rap Show is down there. Y'all, I gotta go.
On other channels, we might switch over to somebody else, but it's a whole bunch of weirdos out there. I don't want to go into the wrong person's live. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that girl Henny live right now. Associated Press is live. Everybody's live. Look. Court TV. We might go to Court TV, y'all. See if we can get a different angle.
Shout out to you. Shout out to the Real Rap Show.
Court TV, they got news reporters talking.
So he's not down there either, you guys. He's not down
there. Hey, yo, Free Cool Kicks got raided. They arrested the owner. I knew something was funny about that shit.
Y'all make sure y'all
that girl Henny in the building, man. I'm watching you surfing too. Yeah, you know what I mean? Me and Henny chose not to go. Know what I mean? Nick at Night didn't go either. It's nothing but a bunch of weirdos out there on the dead homies. You know what I mean?
On the dead homies.
There's nothing out there but a bunch of bum ass niggas. You feel me? And personally, I already made the money over. I'm still getting the money from the videos. I wasn't going down there. Yeah, shout out to Henny. Henny said I wasn't going down there because it's only for one day. You know what I mean? Like it got to be like I said before.
Okay, the crazies are out for sure. We're looking for, okay, so let's see what they're talking about.
Charges. Remember, there was testimony with regard to support, for instance, the violent aspects. I mean, specifically that video. So, which he did,
she said you could have stayed by me. Oh,
that he did do that. There was that whole video where he was responding to, the video in the hallway at the hotel, which was one of the things that the judge did look at and consider with whether he was going to release him post-conviction. So, I mean, when they're saying that, like you were saying, the crossover, that the fact that he was acquitted doesn't take away from some of the allegations supporting that violent aspect.
Now they're talking about comparable cases and all that. Here's my question, Tyler. You remember the apology?
Let me just pause that for a second because people keep saying he was acquitted, that Diddy won at trial. That's bullshit. And I'm not even going to hold you. My coffee's kicking in now. That's bullshit. He was still found guilty of 2 counts of the Mann Act. So he was not fully acquitted. He was acquitted of sex trafficking. He was acquitted of the RICO, but he's still in Click City. That is not a win. Who's mentioning? Yeah, please do not mention other content creators in the chat. Now, I mentioned the Real Rap Show, unless a content creator is the subject at hand, because sometimes they become, we don't like being content, but sometimes we become the content because we be the drama, okay? Please don't mention other content creators in the chat because it starts bullshit, and I don't have time to be dealing with no bullshit, okay? I'm trying to give you guys what you guys want to see. I'm trying to complete missions that I started. I'm trying to get to a bag and make a name for myself in this game so that, when I press up on my 3-year mark, I'm a whole lot further than I am today. When I press up on my 5-year mark, I'm a whole lot further than I am today. You understand? But people are constantly, and I'm seeing this, a lot of people are misconstruing what is going on here. They really are. And these are legal experts. They're like, oh, this is a prostitution charge, but the judge made it clear it's not the prostitution. It is transportation to engage in prostitution. All right, so I'm looking to see if we have anything new. I'm gonna let it build a little bit. Let's hear what these legal experts are saying.
Apology video. Remember his apology video that he put forward right after CNN had published the 2016 tape of him beating Cassie Ventura?
Right.
You couple that, I'm going to play that for you, and then you couple that with what he's saying in this letter to the court and what he might say in court, where he describes he's been reading and writing, working out, attending therapy, teaching a free game business course to inmates, sharing both successes and failures. Let's compare that to the video, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, come on.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you got to do that. I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Now, Tyler, I'm no...
Now, I'm going to pause it right there for a second because I heard yesterday a narrative that was being spun out there that was saying that the Intercontinental video was not that bad. I was very disappointed to hear this, and I'm going to say this. Not that bad is what I heard people saying. It wasn't that bad. I mean, they were talking. She was talking to him. She was talking to the security guard. Well, when you're whooping somebody's ass in the streets, there's usually conversation that goes on before, during, and after. And in that video, she was football kicked in her ass and stomped and punched in the head. And then we sat in court and we watched and looked and saw other pieces of evidence. That big old gash over her eyebrow from being slammed into a bed frame. Whether it was intentional or by accident, well, why were you slamming her anywhere? The bruises all over her body, the busted lip, the photographs that people have found of her with sunglasses on and it's a black eye. Her at a movie premiere with a black eye covered from makeup. How could you ever, like, that type of rhetoric right there is offensive to anybody that has ever gone through DV or had a loved one that went through DV, that had to go through that type of violence. Not that bad. A ninja kicking her and stomping her is not that bad. Ugh. That infuriated me because I was just like, why do we keep downplaying this? Stop making it seem like that was nothing. It was a walk in the park. The courts are not overlooking it. That enraged me because I was like, not that bad. Are you serious? Let me check in with Inner City Press before we continue to go on. All right, so we do have a couple of more tweets to go over. You know, I like to let them build, and then we'll go back and we'll look. No, that was not an apology. It was theatrical. All right, so Judge Submaranian says, okay, wait. So this is where we were. So Judge Submaranian responds and says, in Jordan, the defendant had been convicted and imprisoned in Cuba in the years prior. Am I correct? And it's why Judge Koran varied up. So Slavic says that is correct, as well as the other factors. So Judge Submaranian says, so there is a distinguishing feature. So Slavic says there's also a case by Judge Kimball Wood. Mann Act cases with fear, violence, and threats routinely get significant sentences. This is not a simple transportation case, but it has major aggravators. Also, to Cassie, he hit her and stomped on her. Not that bad, though. DL Bark says, good morning, Henny. I appreciate you so much and your understanding of what's being said in court. Thank you so much for appreciating me. I appreciate you for being here. So then they go on to say the video from the LA hotel was played many times at trial and it never got easier. As to Jane, he punched her and slapped her a little over a year ago when he knew he was under federal investigation. At trial, they said they owned the violence. Slavic continue on saying, admitting to violence in front of the jury as part of a trial strategy is not accountability. Freak-offs were extended performances of sexual degradation and humiliation. Cassie and Jane did not want to have sex with strangers. He made them do it. Oh, they're going to have a field day with that one. They're going to have a field day with that one. Slavic goes on and says he had an escort urinate in Cassie's mouth until she choked. Her victim impact statement makes clear she still has nightmares and flashbacks and the scars on her body. Jane's texts make clear her anguish and trauma. Mia said she got PTSD and anxiety. Deontay Nash said he was caused lasting damage. Capricorn Clark says he blacklisted her once she spoke up. Chef Jordan Atkins wrote how she was impacted. It was real and serious. Now, the fact that they said it was real and serious, I'm wondering if they got a hold of that. It wasn't that serious video too, because child, that was offensive to everybody who's ever gone through a situation like that. And like I said on the panel last night, it took a lot of work to be able to get to where I am right now. But the fact of the matter is, you can't deviate away from what the case is. You said you are the only one covering and recalling everything that happened during the trial accurately. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for noticing that and acknowledging that. That means a lot to me. That really does, because I spent all of that time. You got to think I spent it away from my family. I was out there in all types of weather. And, you know, I just was trying to understand what the case was. And now that I understand what the case is, I gave y'all the defense. I gave y'all this. I've never bashed the defense. I've always told y'all, you got to remember, a defense's job is to create smoke and mirrors and create reasonable doubt. So they're doing their job. And I won't say that they created a big enough smoke screen to where it caused, on its own, it caused the decision. I've always said that I feel like the government had more that they could have charged with, but they didn't. Sherm says that apology don't mean nothing to him. That man want to get out and start the underground parties. I'm done. I wish Comey was there to witness this moment, but Slavic is doing a good job as well. She is, and I'm quite sure Comey is somewhere watching. Okay, for real. He thinks he walking, but he ain't getting out that gulag. Not the gulag. I have keys and about to throw them down the gutter. I know that's right, Nino. Yo, y'all are funny, okay? Slavic says he downplays the abuse, calling it rare. But it's not rare. Cassie's testimony was that he was violent with her at any time. It was not mutual. You saw no photos of the defendant with injuries. That's true. That's true. You didn't see any photos with Diddy having a black eye, a busted lip, or any of that. And we saw that Cassie did not fight back. Now, she said in the beginning she did, but she learned that if she just laid there, like just stiffed, it would stop. Child, let's get back to hearing what they talking about on Law and Crime while we let them build a little bit more.
Psychologist, I can't read Sean Combs' mind, but I can tell you what the law is. And here's the problem. Here's the problem, okay? Problem is, if you listen to what the prosecution presented during the course of the trial, he committed crimes or allegedly committed crimes after that video. I mean, what was found in his hotel room when he was ultimately arrested in New York? Evidence of freak-offs or wild king nights or whatever you want to call it.
That's a fact that people are not looking at. When the feds went to go get him, homeboy had a freak-off kit ready, and Jane testified that he was trying to get her to come to New York to do a freak-off. And he was going to turn himself in. Like, this is crazy. Like, how do people forget all of this? Child, let's continue.
There are people who looked at that video and said, I don't believe it. I don't believe he's sincere. So if we're talking about what he can say, what he can do in court to really fight for his life after he's already been convicted, are there lessons from that video? Is that video going to play a role here? What do you take away from it, Tyler?
I think the video will play a role. It's out there. and it's in the public domain, and Mr. Combs has said that, and he's essentially saying the same thing now in his letter to the court, where he apologized, take responsibility, said that he's rehabilitated himself. He's in jail doing the right thing now, and I think the judge is going to make a decision that takes all of that into consideration. Now, he has been in jail for 14 months. He just went on trial for his life. So this has not been a cakewalk for him. And being in jail is not easy for anybody. And so I think the court has a tough call to make here. But I do think that, the letters from inmates, him having an impact on their lives, I do think that the judge is going to say he has some redeeming value in the future of his life. But that doesn't mean that he escapes responsibility. There has to be some sort of accountability. And I think the court is going to be very aware of that in the sentence that they hand out. And I don't think they're going to let this be something where he just walks out immediately as it's being processed.
We got a poll up. How are you feeling as we wait? 52% say here for the drama. 22% say anxious. 17% say hopeful. And 9% say angry. I think that's a good kind of, summary of the feelings of this case.
I think that was a good breakdown, a good legal breakdown of what's going on. Because let's be honest, a lot of people here are, and I'm not knocking people who are pro Diddy. You can be pro who you want to be. You can have your own decision. You can do all of that. But we're talking about the law. We're talking about a court proceeding. We're talking about sitting through and watching evidence and accurately putting that evidence out there. We're talking about testimony. And we're talking about testimony from people who are trying to remember things from years ago. We're talking about people who have gotten on a stand and not only faced the person who they have suffered at the hands of, allegedly, but they're also sitting in a room full of strangers, telling their stories and recounting some of the darkest times of their life as well. And then for them to be drug across the internet, I mean, my God, poor Mia, her name was dropped. Okay, her name was dropped. Her identity was revealed. Jane, her identity was revealed, and they were trying to testify under pseudonyms because they didn't want to be identified. Now, I get it. I can understand how, Diddy feels and other people feel like, hey, my name is out. Is out there. Your name should be out there too. But a lot of times, like, you got to think, Jane has a son. Jane has a son and a petty baby daddy. Okay. I'm laughing because Diddy is absolutely petty. I mean, not Diddy. 50 is absolutely petty. But their identities got leaked. This woman was about to come into court and testify. And guess what? They bullied her out of testifying. Now, let's take a pause from there and let's get back over here because there has been some updates. All right. So Slavic says that Diddy blames doctors for prescriptions. He pretends that he is the victim. He hasn't accepted responsibility for his criminal conduct. The information provided to his expert was incomplete, and that he will pose a danger at any age. He choked Jane at 54 years old. Now, see, wait a minute. Why she had to go there? She said, I don't care how old he is. He's a danger. Wait a minute. Why you gotta bring up he choked Jane? It's not funny, but I'm laughing because it's like, damn, she said he's a threat at any age. It don't matter. He's 54 years old and choked this woman. What you think you gonna do when he's 60 and 70? I don't know. Like that. Some of it is dramatic. I'm not gonna lie to you, but damn. Let's see, is there more? There's not more. So after this tweet, we'll get back over there to law and crime. All right. So Slavic says prostitution causes other problems. It happened out of public view. General deterrence is needed. Send a message to all victims and to the public that this defendant's crimes are serious. You can encourage or discourage abusers. Now, Slavic, I want the transcript. I got to get the transcript so we can read the whole transcript. Even if somebody else is reading the transcript, I don't usually content poach, but I'm going to content poach if somebody is reading the transcripts. I'm saying it now. I'll put the link to your video in the description box and all of that and give you your credit. Not that old man stream. Why are y'all like this? Why are y'all like this? Okay, so Angela says Diddy is not going to pose no dangers. These people are pushing it. Angela, my dear, that's your opinion, but that ain't what the evidence shows. Diddy Halloween costumes are going fast. Get email. Wow. I'm not even gonna play it. I'm not gonna play with you, Sherman. Why his age have anything to do with it, right? This is what I'm saying. Like, what? What? I'd rather swallow my spit before I sip that water. Yes, thank you, Gold Digger. That is absolutely correct. This is not a trial for DV. It's violence. It's violence. It's violence. Gina needs contempt of court for not coming. I agree. This ninja is booking speaking engagements already next week. I love his faith. Listen, do you hear me? Okay, girl, if you in line to be next to yeah, they're gonna eat you up. Sorry. He just wants sympathy from the public. Once he gets to his 5-star island, then freak off's gonna begin. Best believe. Listen, hey, Heidi B, there's people. Now, this is where the public comes into play at. There's people talking about, I want to be at next freak off. So Slavic says at least 135 months are necessary. The judge says, let's take a break. So now let's see who has raced outside to give us the scoop on what's going on. Well, we were already on Court TV.
Mogul Sean Diddy Combs is expected to be back in court tomorrow following his conviction on prostitution-related charges. Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft in Lower Manhattan with the very latest. Kelly, nice to see you. You're back there at the courthouse steps. And as you've been talking about, there is a big difference in the proposals by prosecution and defense ahead of tomorrow's recommendations that are going to be laid out. What can you share with us?
Well, hi there, Matt. Yes, a huge disparity between the two, with the prosecution saying that Sean Diddy Combs should spend at least 11 years and 3 months behind bars. And at the other end of the spectrum, we have defense counsel who is proposing for the sentencing guidelines that he should only have to serve about 14 months behind bars. He was arrested last September, so if he served 14 months, he would be getting out in December, so just a few months away if the judge went with defense counsel's proposal, Matt. But we are back in Lower Manhattan outside the federal courthouse. Tomorrow, Sean Diddy Combs will be back inside that courthouse and will learn his punishment from the judge. This is for his crime of transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, a jury found him guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution.
Okay, that's not current right now. I don't see any of the YouTubers outside as of yet. Not the ones that I plan to watch, if I'm being honest. Because I'm not actually looking for everyone, because some people have a very biased opinion. They're not looking at the letter of the law. While they're claiming letter of the law, they're not really looking at the letter of the law. Now, I'm looking for Elizabeth Molnar to come out for Law and Crime so that she can give us what's going on. Court TV is not up to date at this immediate moment, so I'm trying to see what's going on, who is doing what. We're waiting for Law and Crime. I like Law and Crime.
he even won the appeal for whatever reason, he would be recharged, or there would be a new trial with the same charges.
Interesting you asked that question. We get great questions from our viewers, but Tyler, got a question now from Trish Lancaster, who asks, could he be retried for the charges he wasn't convicted of if new evidence comes to light?
No, he can't be retried. That's double jeopardy. He's already been acquitted of those charges that he wasn't convicted of.
I don't know. He's not live yet.
By the way,
Even
great movie.
He can't be charged with those same charges.
You ever see the movie Fracture? Great movie. I encourage everybody to check it out. Talk about double jeopardy and what can be introduced. Just encourage everybody to check it out. It's a really good one. All right. So we have a poll up. What's next for Diddy? 32% say who cares.
Magazine or
Cancellation.
And seeing photos of talking about Diddy. It's because he is this charismatic celebrity and he let us inside of his life prior to all of this. I mean, when we're talking about white parties, I remember being a young girl in Wisconsin reading through Us magazine or, you know, People and seeing photos
I
of
thought she was going to say she was at one of the white parties.
Part of his life. Now, maybe not necessarily everything that happened behind closed doors, but thanks to the trial that happened in the courthouse behind me, we now kind of know. So at this point, what does Diddy have to lose? He's already been convicted. I do think he's going to come out and tell his side of the story, and I don't think it's going to be quietly.
Thank you for the Cash App.
People magazine too when I was younger. I don't know why. I just thought it was fascinating. I was very interested. It was the whole Brangelina moment. I was really invested in that. All right, side note. Okay, anyway, excuse me. Update from court. We have a prosecutor Slavic says he blames doctors for prescriptions. He pretends he is the victim. He hasn't accepted responsibility for his criminal conduct. The information provided to his expert was incomplete. He will pose a danger at any age. He choked Jane at 54 years old. Prostitution causes other problems. It happens out of public view. General deterrence is needed. Send a message to all victims and to the public that this defendant's crimes are serious. You could encourage or discourage abusers. There seems to be a big point here, Alexis, of trying to explain why this is a crime, why this is serious, and why the appropriate sentence needs to be several years in prison. Because again, I go back to something. There are people who look at this and say, compared to what he was being accused of, prostitution? But the government is doubling down on it.
I agree, Jesse. I mean, this case, as we discussed at great length, was a difficult case because you had a situation where some of this, not the violent part, but the sexual part appeared at some level to be consensual. And then you had a relationship going on. So I think the prosecution is trying to hammer down that we have a situation that we had this, you know, prostitution coupled with this very elevated violence, and that these victims that were part of this have been severely damaged.
Now, this is what I've been explaining to people. I'm not sure how long this break is, because I'm going to tell you this. Sometimes when the break is just a quick break, people don't get out. They don't leave the courtroom, right? And right now, I'm looking for people. I'm looking for Watching the World 777. I'm looking for Uda on Go. I'm looking for Tisa Tells. I'm looking for everybody, and I don't see anybody out yet reporting on it. I don't even think Law and Crime themselves. I don't think Elizabeth Molnar is there because he's reading the transcripts that we're reading from Inner City Press. So they're having their panel and they're discussing it, but I don't see anyone that was outside. Okay, wait. Here we go.
Guys, we don't know what he's going to get as of right now, but it looks like it's going to be crazy.
I know y'all are probably like, what in the world?
Diddy was on the brink of tears, and I wanted to come live for a good 20 minutes to speak to you guys about it before we head back in there. Currently, it's on a 10-minute break, so I thought, you know what, I'd come out and give you guys this update for what is happening when it comes to the sentencing. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean that they're being overruled? Diddy looked very weak physically. He looks drained beyond belief. You've got Misa Hilton also there as well. Everybody is here today. The sons are there. Christian came.
Well, I mean, he's locked
all
up
of them came.
in prison. It's
like insanity. Absolutely insanity. The whole family's here. I just saw Quincy in the bathroom because I went to take a toilet break before I'd come out here. And everybody's stressed. They all look stressed. The judge is overruling so much in favor of the prosecution. The prosecution just put in a fantastic argument. They were concise, they were quick, they did a very good job today. I'm so happy with that woman, because Maureen Comey loves to talk and drag it out. But this, prosecution team without Maureen Comey seems to me to be quite strong. We are currently on a break as of right now because the defense are going to be putting their argument through. But basically, the judge is overruling everything, dragging it. Saying that Jane is a victim, saying that Cassie is a victim, kept on saying it. The prosecution made cross-references to very good cases in regards to the Mann Act that other people have faced, and for the fact that they've actually faced so many years. So this is not looking good for Diddy at all right now. As of right now, it just doesn't look good. People in the courtroom gasping, hands down, pissed off, irritated. They're fuming.
Okay, thank you.
They are fuming. People who support Diddy are fuming.
Don't do that.
Somebody even tried to come for me in the courtroom, and I'll get into that later, but it looks like people are coming for me now as well, and I don't know why. I don't know what the hell I've done to people for anybody to be coming to me.
Because you're not
like, can somebody make it make sense?
Diddy.
I'm just here to report the case. Why are people getting angry at me? What do you want me to do? People are so dramatic. Sorry, babes. Insanity. Like, what do you mean? Talking about stop telling the lies, stop telling the lies. I said lies. Don't be acting like this in the court, because I'm not the one. But if they want to do that, maybe I should have got security as well at this point, because what do you mean? It's so unnecessary. You can even hear the police in the background. It's not good news for Diddy. This is not good news for him. People are going to be, this is when people are getting aggressive, people are getting upset, they're getting angry, they're getting feisty, they're getting irritated, because Diddy is currently losing right now. I don't think that Diddy is going to get 11 to 12 years that prosecution are asking for. Prosecution stated that they are asking for 135 months to be exact.
Now, let me tell you why he's getting a hard time right now. Because he's not pro Diddy. That's why. So everyone is giving him a hard time. You think, first of all, I wish I was there. Because if you think you about to bully me, you got another thing coming. I don't give a damn. If there's an appeal and it starts going down and all of that, I'm going to be there for that. Now, I'll go if this continues to go on. But go ahead.
That's what they are asking for. I don't believe that they're going to get that. I genuinely believe that the judge is going to give 5-6 years in between.
I agree. I agree.
Lord have mercy. He's overruling everything. Overruling so many stipulations, Judge Arun. And I was like, what? For the judge to keep saying there's credible evidence, there's credible evidence, there's credible evidence in regards to Cassie, continuously, guys. Continuously. Let's look at the overrulings. The judge states that Cassie and Jane were victims, overruled, that there's evidence. The judge states that escorts are victims. The judge states that Diddy has not shown enough remorse. The judge states that, he agrees on enhancements on fraud and incursion. The judge states that the threats of Cassie leaking videos in Diddy mention that this is credible evidence, the judge states. The judge states that Diddy was the organizer. The judge himself, guys, mentioned Christina Coram today in court. Do you understand? He mentioned KK and how KK was part of an enterprise, which, that Diddy was the leader and, the organizer. But of course, the jurors just simply did not find them guilty of RICO, which is a different conversation. The judge states that Cassie was a victim. The judge states that Jane was a victim. The judge states that Diddy does not show full remorse to transportation. That Diddy and lawyers look very stressed and they're pissed with their hands in their aces. Christina Coram, guys, was mentioned. The judge has overruled many statements and that Diddy was basically getting dragged. The defense wanted a downward departure. The judge has officially denied this motion as well. Shapiro jumps in and says that she does not want acquittal conduct and repeats this. Anna Estavo jumps in and says that, they don't want enhancements replied. But the judge says, look at the cases. The judge states that Diddy has zero criminal history. And also the judge states that they are looking for a fine because Diddy can basically afford a fine as well. Prosecution won 135 months. The judge states, and the prosecution won prosecution state that they won 135 months. They list Jane and Cassie that this is not a rock and roll lifestyle. Respect for the law.
Because he has not.
The respect for law is only lip service, and that he's booked. And they've even revealed, do you know how crazy it was? Diddy has booked speaking engagements in Miami on Monday. The prosecution stated this. They brought in this point as the finisher for their argument, and everybody was laughing in court because it was pathetic for this man to think that he can go to Miami on Monday, the place that he tried to go to before for his home, jail, but the judge denied it.
Right.
They go, and thank you FMJ for the super chat. They go over the freak-off abuse, the prosecution. They cross-reference of other Mann Acts, which similar guideline prosecutions, and they make a mistake with the cross-reference, but they continue on, and they basically find no cases of violence leading to 70-month sentences due to societal danger. And the prosecution themselves are mentioning Cassie's urination, they're mentioning Cassie's vomiting, and that he can move on, but that his victim simply cannot. The prosecution made a very good point here that even I have never stated, the fact that he can move on, but these particular victims can never move on, and that he hasn't accepted any responsibility.
Period.
This is basically what has happened so far. Those are all my notes, guys. And I wanted to come live just to let you guys know. Why are you looking around like you're in trouble? I'm not, but you got to be aware of your surroundings, because on a day like this, for some reason, guys, this sentencing is more busy than the verdict day. Thousands of people are here. There was a whole queue to get in. It was insane. There's 5 rooms open for the Diddy case outside of the main courtroom. That's how crazy this is. This is insanity. Oh my good lord. This is just, guys, you're talking about Murad Chill. I just was in the courtroom, one of the biggest cases, guys. I'm on a rush. When you're in the courtroom, it's a madness. It's different than reviewing it from home, okay? I don't think this man is going to get 10 to 12 years. I genuinely believe that Diddy is looking at 5 to 6 years, but the judge overruling so much and confirming that Cassie and Jane were victims is, pretty. I think they are, but thank you so much, Annabella, for the stuff. Okay, guys, I think we've got to go back in court because I think they're basically back in there. Yeah, it was stiff as hell. Stiff as hell. Even Misa. I don't know what Misa was wearing, child. But the twins stay wearing the same clothes every single day. I don't know why they're doing that, but they look good. Quincy looks good. The sons
not wearing the same clothes every single day.
Dress sense. Chef's kiss. Whoever's styling them, they look good. They look really good. Are we back? Is it back? Is it back on? Are we back inside? Has the court? Yes, I'm sure it started now, right?
Sorry, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
How are you going to get back in?
I think he said come back that way.
Is that what he said? Or we have to go around, no?
Oh, shit, you're right.
Okay, give me a second. I'll end this and I'll come with you. All right, guys, those are the updates for now. I wanted to give you that. I want to go back into court to see what the defense are saying, and then probably we'll come back when it comes to court. Love you guys. Madness.
Okay, so they're back in court. So now we should keep an eye on.
This is our OJ case, okay? For those saying this is not bigger than the OJ case, and nobody's saying that. He hasn't taken responsibility for his actions. He hasn't.
Not.
How was Janice's wig? Stiff. Exactly. You have to stay alert in this case.
What do you mean?
They are back in session, I believe. I think they are, but thank you so much, Annabella, for the stuff. Okay, guys, I think we've got to go back in court because I think they're basically back in there. Yeah, it was stiff as hell. Stiff as hell. Even Misa. I don't know what Misa was wearing, child. But the twins stay wearing the same clothes every single day. I don't know why they're doing that, but they look good. Quincy looks good. The sons.
The twins. He said the twins are wearing the same clothes every single day. Like, what are we talking about here? Murad, you are crazy. But shout out to him for his coverage of everything. Now let's get ourselves. I don't know where everybody else is. Nobody else, nobody else has been live like that. I guess everybody's waiting to the end. There's a lot of people that didn't show up, a lot of people that aren't there, whatever the case may be. I don't know. All I know is what I heard last night was egregious. All right, so now at 11:51 a.m., they're back, and it's Diddy's lawyer, Driscoll. Driscoll steps up to the stage and to the podium and says, "I'm grateful, Your Honor, to you being so permissive with the microphone for us today. I'm going to talk about sentencing disparities. A blind reliance on the guidelines can create disparities. The DOJ has long said that Mann Act prosecutions should focus on the commercial cases. Sean Combs did not make a penny from this. The Jordan case, it's not comparable. He served 8 years in Cuba for Smex crimes. That was his second chance. Jordan made $1.4 million. Do you know how many Smex acts that is? He had over 100 clients. Mr. Combs's offenses is nothing like that. 3 of Jordan's victims reported unwanted Smex. One was raped after being rugged. Now, let me say this. Let me go pull this letter up, this response from the judge. Hopefully I can find it, because our inbox over here, the Henny Legal inbox, is like completely everywhere. I'm not even going to hold you. There's so much in here that we have covered, have not covered, a lot. Okay. The judge already spoke. If you remember, I told y'all that the judge was saying that you're talking about money. This is not about money. So it's like, even going into court, you guys are still, y'all are still not following what the judge has said. Did you even bother to read what the judge said? Like that, I'm questioning, have you bothered to read what the judge has said? Because he ruled on this. He ruled on this already. Let me see if this is the letter. While we wait for Inner City Press, let me see if this is the letter right here. The government alleges that Combs arranged for paid men to travel. Further, the government alleged that Combs transported Ventura. The case went to trial. After the government rested, Combs moved for an acquittal. That motion focused. I think, okay, I think it's in this section. We're going to read a little bit of this because this is crazy. Okay, on the defense motion, a court must enter a judgment of acquittal of any offense. I'm trying to skim really quickly because the judge already said that that it need not be, and that based on his own definitions, we were reading that, I think it was towards the end of this, where he was saying that by Diddy's own request of what it is that we read that already. All right. So I'm going to have to skim through this. Let's see if there's anything else that is tweeted. Nothing else has been tweeted as of yet. Let's see if we can get something on here for you guys to kind of watch while we wait. All right, so let me put this up for y'all because I'm gonna get that.
Excuse me. The judge is taking a break. We had a question from one of our viewers, LaRob Show. When can we expect the sentence? We don't really know. I mean, this could take several hours as they go through different statements. The judge's statement, I'm sure he's going to say something before he ultimately delivers the sentence. You're going to hear from defense attorneys. You're going to hear from multiple people who have prepared statements. You're probably going to hear from Sean Combs. So this may take a little while till we ultimately get to the sentence. We're going to continue our live coverage here on the network. But what's interesting, again, is there you're hearing from the prosecution, and you're also going to hear from the defense. Tyler, what does the defense need to say right now? So the judge is taking a break, really hammering away. Look, if you ask me, based on what we've seen in court so far, it seems to be an advantage prosecution. The judge has already seemed to signal that single years of prison appears to be the appropriate range. But what extends past it, extends maybe further. What does the defense need to do? What do they need to say in order to maybe get some sort of leniency from the judge?
Well, they need to make an argument for deviating. That's the big thing they need to do. Deviating from the proposed recommendation and the guidelines, even though the judge said he sees no reason to essentially deviate from the proposed recommendation. That's one. I do think they need to draw a fine line between taking responsibility and accountability and still attacking some of the prosecution's tactics and how they're trying to use these acts that for charges that he was not convicted of, and twisting the Mann Act, which he was convicted of. That's going to be the best bet, and reminding the judge that this sentence should be one for the charge that he was convicted of, not for the charge he was acquitted of, and they're going to give weight to
Okay, I hear the crackling, you guys. So I'm trying to see if I can figure out what the crackling is.
That's going to be the best bet, and reminding the judge that this sentence should be one for the charge that he was convicted of, not for the charge he was acquitted
Okay, let me see if it's still
the acts of
crackling.
violence. But if you're looking at a scale from 0 to 100%, the way the judge 100% credit to those acts of violence because he wasn't convicted of those charges, it should probably be more appropriately 40% and under. Even though they happened, it was trauma. The jury was a true arbiter of this, and they found him not guilty of those charges.
Alexis, if the judge sentences him to 7 years or 11 years or what have you, as opposed to 14 months, which is what the defense has been asking for, can they appeal that sentence? What do you think the likelihood of successfully appealing that sentence would be? I mean, do you think the judge, if he were to sentence Sean Combs to significant prison time, that there's an argument this was excessive?
Well, if we were going to sentence him to 7 to 11, I don't think there's an argument for that, because I mean, first of all, I think that we're going to get about 6.5 is my prediction, or 6.4. So I think that as long as, especially if he stays below probation or even at probation, I don't think there's an argument to say that that was an excessive sentence. I mean, nobody is talking the 20 years. That is the possibility. So we're well below that. Obviously, the judge will have to do the sentencing.
Can you guys hear me?
The requirements to substantiate his order of whatever he does. Otherwise, people could be saying that.
So can you guys hear me? Is it crackly when I'm speaking as well? Let me know, because if it's still crackling, then I'll have to find something else to try to I'll have to find something else. Okay, you hear me clearly? The crackling is gone? Okay, good. Okay, so I believe I found it where they were talking about Judge Aron. Judge Submaranian has already discussed this, and it's in the Prostitution Means Sex for Sale. So he addressed this in his letter. He says, to any modern reader, the plain meaning of prostitution is smex for sale. Every modern dictionary the court consulted says the same thing, okay? And then he goes into Oxford and all of that, the practice or occupation of engaging in sexual activity with someone for payment, okay? According to Merriam-Webber, the act or practice of engaging in smex, and especially sexual intercourse for exchange for pay. According to Black's Law Dictionary, the practice or an instance of engaging in sexual activity for money or its equivalent, commercialized smex, okay? Says the Mann Act's history does not suggest that a different definition apply. True, in 1917, the Supreme Court indicated that prostitution as used in the statute could be for hire without hire, okay? And that applies to reflect how the word was used at the time. Black's Law Dictionary 1910 definition was prostitution as common lewdness or whoredom, okay? But the court walked away from that expansive definition 3 decades later, okay, in Cleveland versus US, recognizing that prostitution, quote unquote, normally suggests sexual relations for hire. And while Cleveland didn't explicitly overturn Cometti, which is another case, its definition of prostitution was key to its reasoning. All right. Reasoning that debauchery differs from prostitution in the statute because debauchery does not require payment. That was the Supreme Court's last word on the matter before 1986. Okay. Happy anniversary to Sexiest One, 19 months. She said, Henny Sipper's message, just coming in. Did they sentence? Yes. No, they did not. They did not. Okay. He goes on to say, right now we're waiting for Inner City Press to bring in the new tweets. Driscoll right now is at the podium and he is addressing the court. So we're just going through because they're bringing up prostitution and money and how Diddy did not profit from any of this. But Judge Submaranian already addressed this matter in his letter when he denied the Rule 33 and the Rule 29 motions that were put in. Okay. So that's why I'm reading this portion portion of the judge's denial letter. All right. So in 1986, Congress amended the Mann Act, cementing the common sense definition of prostitution. It struck the entirety of subsection 21A and reenacted it in reinserting the prostitution clause, but cutting the law's anachronistic features, like the debauchery and immoral purpose. All right. So let's get down to here. But Combs isn't okay. So, consistent with prostitution's ordinary meaning, okay, how the Cleveland court understood it, the judicial state of play when Congress last amended the provision, and how Congress would have understood the term at the time of amended, the right definition is the one Combs proposed, right, at trial, because Diddy proposed using the Black's Laws Dictionary's definition. All right. At trial, the court used in its jury instruction engaging in sexual activity for money or its equivalent. So now that's the definition that they used for the engaging in prostitution to define what prostitution was in the sentencing. Okay. But Combs isn't satisfied with that definition. He says that prostitution has two additional requirements, neither of which is grounded in the text of the statute. That meaning of prostitution at the time of the Mann Act's enactment in 1910, or its meaning when the statute was amended in 1986. For the following reasons, the court rejects Combs's proposed additional requirement. Okay. And he goes on to say that Combs first argued that prostitution in the Mann Act required that a defendant have a financial motive. Now pay attention here, because this is what Driscoll just brought up in court. Driscoll just brought up that the DOJ has long said that Mann Act prosecution should focus on commercial cases. Sean Combs did not make a penny from this. That's what Driscoll just said in court. So this is what Judge Submaranian has already said about that argument, okay, about the financial motive. So Judge Submaranian goes on to say there's nothing in the text of the statute to support this requirement, and it doesn't make any sense in this context. Combs was not convicted of prostitution, but rather transporting others for prostitution. That right there is key. He is convicted of transporting others for prostitution. Combs seems to be conflating two things: the definition of prostitution and the motive of the defendant who transports somebody for prostitution. The statute requires only the intent that the transported person engage in prostitution. Do you see the difference between prostitution and transportation? You're moving somebody to engage in a prostitution act where something of value is exchanged for smacks. And it does not say that the person who is paying has to be the person who is actually having the smacks. The judge goes on down here to say, Combs transported the escorts who were financially motivated and intended for them to engage in prostitution. Whether Combs himself was financially motivated never enters the calculus. There's no bias to adapt Combs's proposed financial motive requirement for defendants in the Mann Act cases. So my question to you guys is, if this was already addressed, and that's what the judge said already about this, how does this right here come into play again, when the judge has already talked about how this is not about financial motive, and that's not what the Mann Act is defined as? Excuse me. And here we are finding ourselves in the final closing arguments, bringing up commercial smecks and Diddy not making a penny from this. Does that make sense to y'all? Right. He's a courier of prostitutes. He's a transporter. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. On repeat. They continue to contradict what the judge has said. Thank you. This is what I'm saying. It's already been addressed. So why are we bringing this back up as something, a leg to stand on? Thank you. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, note, as Combs's Driscoll goes on about U.S. versus Dylan Jordan, Inner City Press has put an extra about this case, which it covered on X for subscribe. Okay, he's okay. There is another case with 7 victims. No grouping enhancements applied. Defendant got 18 months, was released after 9 months. Then there's 18 that brings up another case, okay, in the Southern District of Florida. They generated 1.8 million. They got 15 months. You're talking about money. Again, Driscoll is missing the point here. You're missing the point here. And if I was the judge, I would have stopped him and said, I've already addressed the exchange for money. It doesn't apply here because that's not the charge. The charge is not prostitution. The charge is moving people to engage in prostitution for his own self-gratification, where he paid escorts, paid for the hotel room, paid for the flights, orchestrated it, directed it. I'm getting pissed off because this was addressed. Anyway, in John's case, the average sentence is 6.7 months. In this other case, the defendant texts the victim. I mean, what I said about making a mold of your punanter, the rest of you ain't worth ish. So Judge Submaranian said, but there was no threat of violence in that case. Period. Driscoll goes on to say, Ms. Slavic just blamed Mr. Combs for having a drug problem for 25 years. We think that it's inappropriate. It is a mitigating factor. Let's talk about the case in the District of Oregon. The defendant paid for sessions with a young girl. Why are we bringing young girls into this case? Why are we bringing young girls into this case? What are we talking about? Are we talking about teacup humans? Because if you're bringing young girls into this case, then that means that you are admitting that all of these people, except for Jane, with the exception of Jane, were young ladies. When you get into the Cassie case and you read those victim impact statements, Cassie in her 20s, early 20s. Chef Jordan in her 20s, her early 20s. Deontay Nash in his 20s, early 20s. Mia in her early 20s. Diddy, just over mid 30s. 16 years, Cassie Sr. So my thing is, why are we bringing in things that do not actually align with this case? And I'm glad that Judge Submaranian stepped in, because all of these cases that you're bringing in, the judge addressed that there was no profit that need be made. That's not what this is about. And now do y'all see, now that I've showed you what the judge said and what the defense is doing, now do you guys see what I'm saying about how they just are doing what they want to do? Do you see what I mean by smoke and mirror? Do you see what I mean by pressing the issue? And then you're also bringing in young girls. But the judge has said, you talking about all of that, but there was no violence in the cases. See, that's the difference. There's a pattern and a history of violence here that people are not looking at. Do you see now why I say some people are running with the defense's narratives of prostitution? It's not a prostitution case. It's not a prostitution case. All right, so Driscoll goes on and says the defendant Riggs got 24 months. It was more heinous that this crime. It was more heinous that this case says to avoid unwarranted sentencing disparities. I've read all 900 Mann Act cases available on Pacer. His case is different. So now the judge asks, who's next? Miss Westmoreland. So now Westmoreland is stepping up. Okay, they're still trying to rebuttal the prosecution instead of fighting for his freedom. Thank you, Coley. This is playing out. Everything that I said is playing out in real time in front of people's eyes. I don't see what they're not getting when I've been telling you that they've been pushing this judge. They've been challenging this judge. They're still trying to press their issues even after the judge denies them. We're watching it play out right now. And I'm glad that I'm home because I was able to pull up that letter, that rejection for the motions that were put in for the 29 and 33 to show you that he addressed this. And they're in court even after he addressed it, still talking about Diddy didn't earn any money. How many people have you seen say that? Diddy didn't earn any money. There was no profit. That ain't what the case is about. And I'm going to keep saying it because it's a fact. Child, anyway. So now Westmoreland has stepped up to the podium. Okay. Shout out to Driscoll because again, I have nothing against any of these defense team lawyers. They are doing their job and they are damn good at what they do. But it's just like, come on, y'all are beating a dead horse with some of this stuff. And I know that it's at the hands and advisement of their client because they have to do what he wants them to do. Anyway, so Westmoreland says, I want to focus on the inspiration Mr. Combs has given throughout his life. And on commitment he made and on the commitment he made while in the MDC. Mr. Combs was successful, but he used it to help others. He touched many more lives than I can cover in the next minutes. Y'all ready? This is where that video is going to come into play. So let's see what some of the people are saying down in the comments. So Kat says, so we're supposed to just excuse all the stuff he did to the victims because he touched a whole lot of people. Where were all those people during the trial? Did anybody stand up for Diddy and say what a great, wonderful man he is and what he did for them? No, nobody came. And I find it very interesting how he could be such a great person to his family and friends. And then strangers call a publicity stunt. But what about all the victims? What about the men and women that he drugged, that he raped, that he forced and prostitution over state lines? And let's not forget international as well. This person goes on to say he touched many more lives than I could cover. Yeah, that's why we're here. This person needs to be in our life, right? At the end of the day, he only got convicted of prostitution with no criminal background. Anything more than 2 years is injustice. This right here, this person right here, wrong. You're wrong. It's not prostitution. See what I mean? Now I want y'all to understand the danger of narratives without doing your own due diligence. Okay. Being a role model is also taking accountability and owning up to your mistakes. If you do the crime, we should do the crime. If we do the crime, we should do the time. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. So now Diddy Dockets is asking, is Combs thriving in prison? Is a sentence beyond time served? Win-win here today? The next person says, you betcha he did touch more lives than you can cover. Yo, y'all are horrible. So the judge should skip over all the crimes and abuse because he was checks notes inspirational. One more from this lady, Kat. Let's not forget about the victims. And there's many of them. He didn't do this just 1 or 2 times. This continued over years and years and years. So sorry, I don't see the good in him. These are people that ain't over here. These are people that ain't over here that are reading. But as you see, the twisted narrative of this being about prostitution from legacy media, from content creators, bloggers, whatever they want to call themselves, has reached the public and misconstrued it. Somebody said, if the judge keeps going like this, Diddy may as well give Uncle Trump a call. You see it. I told y'all that the judge was not going to be very gracious, that he's quite annoyed, probably because we're annoyed as the public. That's what I said. Says, wait, so I can get rich in traffic too? Man, nah, I don't want it. Due diligence. He needs to be locked the fuck up, okay? I like the spicy ones too, right? They should be in our live. I should drop the link. Decades of abuse of power. Those are our kind of people, okay? They belong in the Henny Gang. They are official Henny Gang members, okay? They don't even know us. So Westmoreland continues to go on and says, there were not many Black-owned labels. Mr. Combs had the audacity. It sent a message that you can do it. Clothing too. It was not just urban streetwear. It was upscale. It brought unity. It inspired change. Now, you bring up the record label. You mean the same record label? Hold on. I got to get big on the screen for this one. Hold on. So we're bringing up the record label, the same record label where he refused to let people go from the label, where he continued to make bank off of their royalties, where the artists were stolen from. The same label that was used to pay for some of the debauchery that was going on because his businesses paid his credit card bills. The same clothing company that helped also funded the debauchery and the transportation to engage in prostitution, that paid for the airline flights, the hotel rooms, the drugs, and the escorts. Those same businesses. Oh, let's not lose sight here. They putting on a good case, but let's not lose sight here of what's going on. I'm just saying. And Kat is down in the comments. Listen, I like her. She says, and I find it very interesting how he could be such a great person to his family and friends. And that's already there. Okay, inspirational. Diddy is no role model. What to inspire to destroy those who he supposedly says he loves? Hold on, I feel like I gotta sneeze. He's nothing but an inspiration to those who love to traffic, torture, and be as narcissistic as he is. He effing disgusts me. Yo, Christy, oh my goodness. Child. This is an interesting approach. Diddy certainly has helped many people during his rise to power, fortune, and fame. Yet, character argument isn't sufficient enough in case involving violence against a person. Again, the prosecution will have the last word, and they'll rebuttal this. Oh, you best believe Slavic is going to come in swinging. Now, this is the moment where I kind of regret not booking my flight soon as I came home so that I could be there. Like, baby, I should have been out there and I should have had my damn tent myself and been in line. Okay, I take my shower and all of that, and I should have been out there with the line holders in a tent sleeping. Okay, then wake up in the morning and be on that line, go in the bathroom, freshen myself up, and get ready for court in the bathroom. Like, I don't care. I should have been there to make sure I was in the courtroom for all of this. I'd have been my own line holder. Do you hear me? I should have did it. I should have flew in last night, spent the night outside with the other line holders and did a story on it, because I could have got the scoop on what it was like. That could have been a real investigative reporter. Like, I'm out here and I'm with the line holders right now. And I'm actually going to sleep in a tent outside on a New York City sidewalk just to secure my spot in the courtroom myself. So I'm out here with them, and this is what this is like. And then in the morning, got up, signed my name, went into the courthouse, got my seat, put my stuff down, and went in the bathroom, splish splashed real quick, changed clothes, and went back in the courtroom. And been on a flight by tonight. I didn't think about all of this. I could have covered the story outside. Do you hear me? I'd have paid somebody to be my bodyguard outside at night to watch me. Wait. Rocky 54 Cotton said you would never. Not sleep in the tent with Candy. Oh my God, I miss Candy. I'm just saying. Maybe I should have known they was going to be kung fu fighting like this in court. Because what the hell? Yes, brother. Yes. I'm saying. And we would have been right there with you, just like we was right there with you when you took that drive, the Uber into the city to meet our girl. Baby, listen, okay? Y'all would have been like, Henny, you got to stay live with us until your battery dies. Listen, I have 3 cell phones. I have a damn iPad, and I've got a computer. Oh, we'd have made it work. Even if I couldn't cover the story from the channel, I'd have been on somebody else's channel covering this damn trial. Do you hear me? All my devices are dead, y'all. I'm over here. Poppington, I'd have been like, come out here with your battery charged. Okay, I need to use your phone. We got to go live. Listen, do you hear me? In the tent. All right, let's see what else is going on, because Westmoreland is she's bringing in the inspirational aspect of things, and the people are not buying it. All right, so we do have one tweet update. Listen, media showdown may be delayed today because we are on a sentencing watch. All right. So she goes on to say, let's read the prior tweet. I kind of want to wait till the end of her talking to cover the tweet so I can read the whole damn story, because getting it in bits and pieces is not helping us right now. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. No, let's not start from the beginning. Let's go to Law and Crime and see what Law and Crime is saying about what Westmoreland has got to say right now. Are they talking? Okay, so hold on. Okay, let's get back to Law and Crime. We're going to let this build up just a little bit, okay? Look, let me tell you something. I've been in them bathrooms. It's 2 sinks, okay? And then there's a bathroom that people don't really go into, and it's right behind the little golden door. Let me bring y'all over here. This door right here, we can't go in that one. That one is for the attorney. So you got to go in over here, right? So you go in over there, you drop all of your devices, you keep the little book bag and stuff, right? But there's a bathroom just beyond these doors. Baby, people hardly use that bathroom. But if I'm upstairs, I would have went to one of the floors where there's no court going on and there's a bathroom, and I'd have went in there and I'd have splish splashed. Okay, listen, I was gonna wash my arse. And change my clothes. Sure would have. They going into the overflow, y'all. These people right here, they going in the overflow. Yeah. But they had some things to say. He came back. Let's see.
Others will make a statement. The judge will make a statement. And right now, the defense is putting their arguments to the court. So we're going to provide you real updates. We're also going to take your questions. Any questions you have about this case, submit them on YouTube. We'll answer them here on the air. And I'm also going to bring in my all-star panel for this hour. So we have with us here Gillespie, who is outside the federal courthouse. I am also joined by criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Safa Robinson Ferrer, and I'm joined in studio by the former associate warden at the MDC, Dr. Dwayne Hendricks. I want to thank everybody for coming on. Dr. Hendricks, I have a lot of questions for you as well.
Now, we're watching this to keep our attention. Now, remember, he's behind. So as he's reading some of the tweets we've already read, I love you too, Gina. I'm watching because I want to gather a nice hunk of tweets so that we could go and read them, okay?
Talks to what the potential sentence could be. might actually serve his time if he's ultimately sentenced to prison. We have a super chat question that I got to get to first. So, Saf, I throw this to you. Super chat question from JRiz87. Thank you so much. Do you think Diddy will take legal actions on everyone that accused him?
Great question. I think that after this case is wrapped up and he's either sentenced or is ultimately released and back out in the community, I think he's going to handle his civil actions that are pending. There might be some countersuits with respect to those actions, but I think that he's also just going to be prepared to move on with his life, move on with his family, and try to rebuild his brand.
Okay. Update from court. So now
Okay, so I take it that we've got to find someplace else to go because y'all are saying that law and crime is crackling, okay? Y'all are saying that law and crime is crackling. We don't like it, Henny. We don't like it. Okay. I hear you guys loud and clear. I hear you guys loud and clear. Okay. I don't know why the channel is crackling. Maybe I need to refresh. Maybe. I don't know. I just heard so maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the drama. Let me see.
Milner broke down everything. I think that probably changed a lot of the
up to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, which is the appellate court in New York.
Is that okay?
By the way, we also have another. Sure. It makes sense because they're looking to see if there were any errors committed on the part of the trial judge. Other question for you, Saf. This is from Brittany Curry. Jesse, is there a possibility of the judge going over what the prosecution is asking for in the way of a prison term to make an example out of Diddy?
Well, Mr. Combs, he's facing 10 years on each charge for the Mann violation. So essentially, he'd be looking at 20 years here in totality. The government is asking for 11 years. Could the judge go over that? Certainly he could. I don't think that he will. I think that the judge is going to stay in alignment with the sentencing guidelines.
Is it still crackling? Still crackling. It's still doing it. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can find somebody else to go to. I thought that would be a great okay. Let's see. Is this one crackling?
Oh my God.
New York Times says Nicole Westmoreland broke in tears while discussing the moguls' importance.
The lawyer broke in tears?
Yeah, that's what New York Times is saying. Yeah. Right.
Wait a minute. We got to go back. Okay, so hold on. Let me see if I do this.
Somebody's sobbing.
Someone in the crowd, maybe? Okay. Or did he? Or did he? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't specify who's sobbing. I guess we'll have to wait and find out what that's about.
Are there any cross references on that?
Not on this part. No, not that I've seen.
I mean, anybody?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. New York Times says Nicole Westmoreland broke in tears while discussing the moguls' importance.
The lawyer broke in tears?
Yeah, that's what New York Times is saying. Yeah. Right. Fair. But New York Times has someone in there for sure. Yeah.
Jim, start talking so I don't say something. Was revolt, and apparently she started crying.
If you go to New York Times, has the latest update. Yeah, I got it.
Wow. This is not what I expected from them. Between the video, the moving papers about she's a liar, the 12-minute video. What the hell? And This speaking engagement?
On the speaking engagement.
Oh my God.
People are asking.
His lawyer,
I missed the
according to
context.
the New York
Why
Post.
is she crying?
I can't even explain it. She's going through his life, and then she says, and then there was revolt, and she started sobbing. Maybe we don't have the full context.
What is Nicole Westmoreland's
I don't understand.
connection to... Nicole Westmoreland is the attorney... Let me look this up. Hang on a second.
Have you...
Okay, guys, I really don't know what it is. I don't know why that's happening. It shouldn't be happening. Never been a TMZ fan. He's a narcissist. I can't stand him. Well, here's the thing. It can't be my microphone because it's still doing it. Like, I'm listening. I'm listening. And this is kind of pissing me off, right? It's kind of pissing me off. So let's get into some more of the inner city press. I think we've gotten a good hunk of it. All right, so let's go back over here. I'm kind of pissed that I can't follow TMZ because this is annoying as fine. When I'm talking, it's fine, but you know, the thing is, it's pissing me off because I need to be able to share video and it needs to be crystal clear. I don't know if that's something that they're doing on their end because, you know, Law and Crime is a big channel. Did y'all hear it when Murad was doing his? Was it there? Because you guys weren't saying that it was there. It's not your mic, Henny, it's their mics. I think there's something on their channels that may be making it staticky because when we were watching another content creator, it wasn't doing that, right? All right, so let's take it from the top and let's read what we have because we have a nice hunk here. It's a couple of tweets. So let's refresh our memories on what's going on. So Nicole Westmoreland says, I want to focus on the inspiration Mr. Combs has given throughout his life and on the commitment he's made while in the MDC. Mr. Combs was successful, but he used it to help others. He touched many more lives than I can cover in the next minutes. There were not many Black-owned labels. Mr. Combs had the audacity. He sent a message that you can do it. Clothing too. It was not just urban streetwear. It was upscale. It brought unity. It inspired change. In spirits, our community finally had a seat at the table, a real voice, a real voice. Then there's revolt, sobs. She's crying. Yeah, so, okay, thank you. Yeah, it's them. It's something that they're doing with the big channels to deter you from using their content, all right? Okay, Westmoreland goes on and says, he's just trying to help. He opened 3 charter schools in neighborhoods where the schools were not good. The motto was Black excellence. The youth are our future. Mr. Combs personally inspired me. I went to an event in DC. Mr. Combs was there. He said, listen, everyone, she's crying. She's still crying. I'm sorry. He said, don't be afraid to dream. Just remember to wake up and put actions behind your dreams. And then he said, don't forget to help others. That changed my life. Mr. Combs is just a man, and he's made some mistakes. He has flaws like we all do. But how many of us can say that we've helped so many lives, countless lives? He's been in jail. He's remorseful. I spent every day speaking with him. Yes, you're right, Miss Poppington. All of his schools had problems. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe all of his schools have since been shut down. She's right. He had the audacity. While he's out here inspiring so many others, he was out here doing this other shit behind the scenes. And this is where the problem comes in at. Because everything that's being said by Nicole Westmoreland right now, it's facts. He did do those things. But we cannot turn a blind eye and stop calling it a mistake. Stop calling decades worth of the same shit a freaking mistake. It's not a mistake. It's a pattern. It's a part of who he is. It's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of thing that's going on. And this is where the problem lies in at. Because he has a brilliant business mind. He did have the audacity to dare to go where no other Black person has gone, to break down doors. He did do these things. But he did these things over here too. Let me get big. Let me make myself big. This is where the divide comes in at. Bad Boy was legacy, a staple in hip hop and R&B, Black owned. But then there was bullshit that he was doing to his artists behind the scenes. Sean John was right up there with FUBU and Fat Farm and Crust Colors. It was part of our history. He was a part of hip hop. And Sean John expanded into fragrance and sunglasses and business wear and street attire, and he was everywhere with it. He did open those charter schools as well in bad neighborhoods to give kids a choice to have good education, where good education was very scarce. He did have revolts. He did employ a lot of people. He did have Ciroc. He was one of the first people to have a seat. One of us having a seat amongst them. But as all of this was going on, let's not forget, Chef Jordan talked about how she helped with the flavors of Ciroc while suffering at the hands of being employed by him. Let's not forget about the fact that while all of this Black excellence was going on, because it is Black excellence, while all of this Black excellence was going on, there was deep-rooted dark debauchery that was going on as well behind the scenes. By day one way, by night another. I'm not taking away Diddy's accolades. I'm not taking away what he's done. I'm not taking away the doors that he's broken down, the things that he's pioneered. I don't think any of us are. And that's the disappointment. That's where the disappointment comes into play at. And this is only just this case. What else is out there? Westmoreland continues. In the MDC, Mr. Combs started asking people their dreams. That's how Free Game for Diddy was born. No one's done this in the MDC before. So then he says, note, Yi Chen taught Chinese in MDC, then got 15 years for fentanyl. Matthew Russell also covered that. Westmoreland says, there is no benefit to warehousing Mr. Combs in prison. Thank you. So now the Judge Submaranian says, Mr. Steele, because Brian Steele is also going to speak, so he's going to take the podium now. Brian Steele opens it up and says, we wanted his children to come up, then show the video. The judge says, please come forward. So Quincy is at the podium now, and he opens with, my name is Quincy Brown. He's my father. Child, I know I'll be sure is cringing right now. I know I'll Be Sure is cringing right now hearing this. I really wish that we could get to TMZ. Harvey is having a whole meltdown. Listen, okay, it's going to be a little crackly, but let's try to hear what Harvey is saying, because you know Harvey has been very pro Diddy.
You've been kind, and I get it, and I understand why they're saying you don't paint him out to be a monster all the time, because he's not. But it's just so slick that what you think is they're trying to make you forget the other stuff.
Hold on. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do for us? You know what I'm gonna do for us? In between us waiting for the sentencing, waiting for the inner city tweets, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and play the audio of Harvey and what they are saying when it comes down to Diddy and the debauchery. I'm just gonna play the audio. All right, give me 1 second. Everyone, did they do the announcement of sentencing? No, he hasn't been sentenced yet. Right now, Quincy, I'll Be Sure, and Kim Porter's son is standing. Oh, it sounded good. He was even acting weird right in front of people's faces. Right. Okay, so let me close this window out because I had multiple video windows open when I was looking for people. I think we might also be having some technical difficulties because I have so many windows open right now. So let me close out some things. And then not only that, you know, I was bad. I didn't charge my laptop the night before, but I don't like going to sleep and charging. But here we go. I want y'all to hear what Harvey is saying right here, because this was to me the most sense that I have heard from Harvey in a minute. And I know it may be a little crackly, but we gotta try to see if we can get through it. If it's too bad, then I will go ahead and I will and this was him speaking on Westmoreland. Okay, I will go ahead and I will just play the audio on my phone. But let's see.
She's going through his life, and then she says, and then there was revolt, and she started sobbing. Maybe we don't have the full context.
What is Nicole Westmoreland's
I don't understand.
connection to... Wait, Nicole Westmoreland is the attorney... Let me look this up. Hang on a second.
Have you ever seen
This is
a
why she
lawyer
might be sobbing.
cry
Hang on.
in court?
No. Call it out, Harvey.
Well.
Is it crackling bad? Okay, you can hear good. Good.
Gee, today's October 3rd.
Yeah.
That's the anniversary of the O.J. Simpson verdict.
Thank you.
Next question.
The cash apps.
Everyone is putting on a performance.
But you got to put, look, being a litigator or a defense lawyer, prosecutor, it is a performance. You are performing. You are trying to move a jury, move a judge, and you are performing. But there's good performances and there's bad performances. And this, I don't know, this whole thing today, it's just like, I mean, I got to tell you, this video, this 12-minute video.
Yeah, they're asking
Diddy,
what that is.
It's, oh, guys, it's this sappy, kissing his little kids, giving a graduation speech, doing his charity work, which is all fine and good. but it's this slick.
The messages from his kid, like.
Yeah, it's you're my inspiration. You've been kind, and I get it, and I understand why they're saying you don't paint him out to be a monster all the time, because he's not. But it's just so slick that what you think is they're trying to make you forget the other stuff.
For the first time since this trial, I agree with Harvey. Harvey just said what I said. Harvey just said what I said. They're trying to make us forget about the other stuff. Now let's go on and let's see what Quincy has had to say. And we'll check back in with TMZ. All right, let me small myself again. And here we go. All right. He called Diddy his father. Okay. And then Quincy goes on to say he is transformative. He will not jeopardize his freedom again. As his children, we wish to heal together. Okay. So there's more that he said, but we don't have it in its entirety. We have to wait for transcript in order to get that. But that's where, you know, Quincy has come in at, you know, he's my father. He's saying he's transformed. All right. And he's not going to jeopardize his freedom again. You know, as his children, we want to just heal from this and move forward. Now, the next up is Justin. Okay. Justin says, I ask you to give my father a second chance. My father is my superhero. My father always told me to believe in God. I talk to my father every day, every other hour. Now, here comes Christian. Thank you for the super chat. Just me said, pair character bowing down, saying thank you. Coolest Jazz said, horrible. I hope them kids think I hope them kids don't think this is how you take accountability. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for everyone who has sent super chats. Thank you for the cash apps that are coming in as well and supporting the channel. It means so much to me because, you know, I really do put my all into all of that I give you guys. I really do. And I appreciate when you guys, you know, are here, even for the likes. Make sure y'all are leaning on the likes, for the comments, for the interaction, for the follow, for all of that. I appreciate y'all so much. Everybody that supports this channel, you have no idea. It's been 2 years of greatness. Now, we're into Christian Combs and what Christian has to say. Christian says, I'm the one who most resembles my pops, my mannerism. My whole life, I studied my dad up and down. Oh boy, you are starting off wrong, especially being that you have your own case. You have your own SMEX case. I'm the one who most looks like him. I'm the one that most acts like him. I studied my dad. He is the greatest man in the world, my superhero. He told me to treat women like a queen, and I do. I see in his eyes, as his twin, that he has changed. Baby, do I need to pull Christian's case up? Because I covered Christian's case when it first hit. You got in there and you said, I resemble my pops. I have my pops' mannerisms. I've studied him up and down. Yeah, we know. Oh, Jesus. The next one up speaking is his daughter, Jessie. Now, Jessie is the daughter that was born around the same time as the twins. Now, Jessie is crying. Okay, Jessie is crying. My name is Jessie Combs. I'm 18 years old. Cries. When my mother died, oh, this is one of the twins. I'm sorry. It's Jessie and Delilah that are twins, right? Shit, I confused them because they might as well be triplets. Here we go. He's using Kim Porter as leverage now. You know, let's see if there's more to this. There is. All right. When my mom died, I was just a little girl. I remember my dad sitting us down. It helped, I guess, to talk to them and speak to them about their mom's passing. She says, it helped me survive when I just wanted my mom. My name is Chance Combs, his daughter. He's changed. She's crying. Sorry. He speaks with a clear mind. My name is Delilah Combs. We watch our 2-year-old sister. She cannot grow up fatherless. Delilah Combs continues on. Your Honor, please, she cries. Let us move forward, not as a headline, but as a family. So Judge Submaranian says, thank you all. This is important for me to hear. Brian Steele says, we would like to show the movie. Well, we already started watching the movie. So let's continue with the movie since they're showing it.
Little boy, Jeannie Ned.
Okay, Jeannie.
Yeah, you just keep hanging in there.
Thank you very much. I'm telling you right now, you did a great job. I'm wrapping my head around and meeting you and also telling you did a great job at the same time.
Hold on. Unfair to those who have not been here from the beginning. This is the video that they're watching.
What you've given to the world, I don't think you know, man.
When my baby cries.
You gotta give her a bottle then.
Know that you mean something to people. Know that you mean something to people. Like you live somewhere in people's heart.
My nose fell off. No, my lip fell off. Thank you. You wear it?
You inspire, you energize, and you've left that for the rest of the existence of this planet, man.
One thing about great producers is they make you want to do better and be better about what you do. And he made me feel like I could do anything and go anywhere.
From New York. I love New York. I love the city of New York. I love the children of New York. I wanted to do something good. I wanted to get my generation in the hip-hop community behind us. They come through in a big way, and we wanted to raise some money for the children of New York City for health and education. We have a huge education crisis, and you know, this is just a start. This is something we're going to be committed to. I'm going to be committed to for a lifetime, and it's no better way than taking it to the streets. It's a beautiful city running all around. The city's going to be painful. It's going to be rough. But you know, if we get to the end of the showcase, then everybody else that, you know, finish what you started, you can do it and you put your mind to it. Yeah. Okay, I'm running to raise money for your schools. So y'all get my books and computers and stuff like that. I just feel like it's important to us, you know, young adults with power, that we look out for y'all. And we utilize our power to make sure y'all all right in the future. Put everything you can into your work, you know. Don't think the cool thing is not to do your work. Don't think the cool thing is to hang on the corner with your friends and to talk about stuff that ain't gonna protect your future.
What did you learn about him as a man who was taking up a new sport?
Well, you know, I was actually very impressed. You know, a lot of people think it's just a celebrity stunt, that he isn't serious about his running. He is as serious about his running, has been the last 9 weeks, as a lot of these guys in the lead pack. I mean, he's really devoted and dedicated himself to running. You know, he's had some knee problems, and a lot of people don't think he's going to finish. He is going to finish, even if he has to do it on one leg, because he's raised a lot of money for kids' charities, and he's not going to let all those people down.
Let's go. Where we going? We're going straight to the top, baby. Let's go is a constant reminder. Let's go. Boom. Live in the present. Sometimes, you know, you daydreaming. Sometimes, you know, Uncle Diddy got to hit you with let's go.
Clap it up on the sideline. Let's get our energy right. Come on.
To make sure that you pursuing your dream, that you staying focused. Let's go. Let's keep going forward. Let's go means let's be positive. Let's take it up another notch. Let's go spend time with our kids. Let's go. Let's give thanks to God. Let's go. You know, let's turn it up. Let's get in the vocal booth. Let's stop procrastinating. Let's go. You know, let's understand what it's going to take to achieve that dream. So instead of talking about the guns or the violence, I was always talking about a better life. Places we didn't go before, things we never wore, cars we never drove, houses we never lived in. I think I brought an aspiration to hip hop. Tried to take it out of just being street. Our whole stuff was a fantasy and a dream that I always felt would come true.
I started out just like you guys. I come from New York. I grew up in Harlem. I used to have to wear a uniform every day. Had to get up early in the morning, had to travel to go to school. I worked hard, just like you guys are working. This country and this world we live in may have planned for y'all. I didn't listen to that, and I don't want y'all to listen to it either. Y'all are great. Y'all are kings. Y'all are queens. Y'all are leaders. I just got so excited because this is truly a dream come true for me. And I'm happy to say this is our 3rd school we have opened. It's official. When we come together as a people, nothing can stop us. But what I want to do with my freedom is, make sure that I can make change.
And I found out that Mr. Sean Diddy Combs posted me on Instagram.
We met Sean Diddy Combs for the first time, and Sean gave Trey a $25,000 grant, which allowed us to open a physical store.
Revolt, as one of the only Black-owned networks, we have to own something. We have to have something that's ours. We have to have something that we can control our narrative, and we could speak about things that are important to us, and we could have a platform and a foundation to be free. But I want to get advice from y'all. I want to not just have a one-way conversation.
We need a platform where they can put artists that are different, really different, that wouldn't get a shot on other stations.
Working for Revolt TV and working for Diddy was absolutely life-changing. It was the best job I've ever had. I learned excellence through him.
I don't see enough things truly changing. And I don't understand how we are the richest, most powerful country in the world, and it seems like we can't solve the problems within our own community. African American communities are last. And the only people that are going to change that is us. We have to stand strong together, and we have to get to that change. You will change the world.
I've been to hell,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna make it.
you're gonna make it, that's right. Now I got something for you. Remember I told you I had a present for you?
Yeah. Ain't that pretty?
This is a heart, because you're my heart.
Oh,
all right?
Okay.
You my heart.
Okay.
May God bless you and keep you happy and keep you thinking positive. Everything's not gonna be perfect at this time in life. And you're a good person that understands reality. So we're gonna accentuate the positives in life. Cause you're doing great, girl. You're doing great.
God knows.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing great. I want you to be happy about your life. You're doing great. We got a lot of living to do now. We got a lot of living to do. Don't have me come behind me. I'll be taking you everywhere. You be going everywhere.
Head off together.
Okay, what's your name?
You were a little boy. Jeannie Ned.
Okay, Jeannie.
Yeah, you just keep hanging in there.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm telling you right now, you did a great job. I'm wrapping my head around and meeting you and also telling you did a great job at the same time.
That means
so
a lot.
pleasure to meet
That
you.
means a lot.
I'd rather at the end of the day be the one standing there with you. Was the best person. You made us feel the best as a person.
How old are you?
2.
How old are you?
2.
2, yo, 2, that's 2.
My name is Pookie the Bird.
Happy birthday. Ushers, we gonna be shucking it up. Yeah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you, God.
Today, God is the greatest. He blessed me and my girlfriend Kim in the world, for 2 beautiful baby girls.
We have breaking news to tell you about now. Model and actress Kim Porter, who shares 3 children with Sean Diddy Combs, has been found dead.
She just loved me unconditionally, you know. She just loved me. Just for me, it's like the closest you could be like with a person.
I get to thinking about her, and I go to crying about her.
Today, now I'm a full-time dad, and I'm gonna be there for you through everything, all of y'all.
Every Sunday I gotta slow everything down and do the family ritual, get the family together, make sure the girls are watching church.
There is a definition of grace that is more.
Pops, I love you. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for inspiring. I've looked up to you and admired you outside of you just being my father, just you being just a great human being, a kind human being. I love how you inspire me to keep going, to never stop following my dreams, to always believe in myself.
See a foot, put in that middle part.
I wanted to tell you how much I love you, how much I care for you. Thank you for being so supportive of me and my siblings' dreams, but always encouraging us to go for whatever we want. We love you. We can't wait to make more memories with you. Just like thank you for everything you do for us. Yes. And I want you to know that you're loved more than you think.
I had to pick this trophy. I want the best person trophy. But I know in order for me to get into heaven, I'm not going to get in there, well, come on in heaven, you had 20 hit records. That don't mean nothing. And that's what this world is for. They're going to say, oh, come on in heaven, he was a nice person.
I love you.
I love you so much.
I love you so much. I love you so much.
Hi, Daddy.
Now, let's switch back over to TMZ and see what Harvey had to say about this. Because I'm not going to hold you. It is a very touching video that gives you a different look at him. And they are really trying to stomp out what we heard at the trial. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think this is going to tie over.
Judge, this video is cringy. He's a puppet master. He's an idiot for this video. This isn't a halftime show.
Wait a minute. They're reading their comments. Let's see what the comments are saying. And the video got to Harvey. I mean, the video is very touching because you're getting an intimate look inside of his life as a father.
My father, just you being just a great human being, a kind human being. I love how you inspire me.
This video is gonna piss off the judge. This video is cringy. He's a puppet master. He's an idiot for this video. This isn't a halftime show.
I mean, putting music on it too. Just
the dramatic music, yeah.
God, that big flourish at one point when
at
they
the
started
end.
singing. I know.
Acting like a savior, God complex. It feels like a trailer for a movie. Nope, not buying it.
I will say this. Mark Agnifilo, Tenny Garrigus, it is a formidable, it's a formidable team. And they won the trial. I mean, they kicked the prosecution's ass in this trial.
He didn't win the trial. He's still in jail.
This surprises me. This surprises me. I think this video is tone deaf.
Yeah.
It's tone deaf. And if this is true about this speech, whatever the judge was thinking, he ain't gonna go down from what he was thinking. If anything, he's going up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think this could actually push him up. When that speaking engagement, you're telling the judge, you're a sap, prove me wrong.
Calling it, they're calling it so cringe.
The video?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
totally tone deaf. This video should not sway the judge in any way.
Well, it may.
In the wrong way.
Yeah.
Piss him off. Like, come on, bro.
Can you imagine the judge is going to say, you know, I was so moved by that video that.
Hey, what is
there any version of
No, personally, no. Personally, absolutely not. And then on top of that, like you said, this being engaged thing. Now, if I'm the judge, now I'm just pissed off.
Pissed off.
Now I'm just. You think you're taking this as a joke? You think, like you said, did you call him you think I'm a simp? Like you think that I'm just gonna be? Yeah, no, it's a slap in the face. The speaking engagement more so than the video for me.
This speaking engagement, I'll tell you, they better address this.
In a week? That's crazy. Like
next week.
Yes, I'm saying. You mean to tell me that you're
today's and by the way, today's Friday.
So not even. I'm like that more so than the video for me personally. But yeah.
Today he's dug himself into a deeper hole. Diddy has dug himself.
I think he has.
Judge won't be messing around.
Or no, not you see. The Victoria got her ears pierced.
Throw popcorn at the
She
screen.
had some big diamonds in.
We just dropped a poll about thoughts on the video. Give us a few moments and we'll see what.
91% terrible, I think. And by the way, I think the way you guys view this matters. If this is overwhelming.
I hope that video was crystal clear and you guys could hear. There is no addressing of the behavior. I said this about his letter. There's no addressing it. There's just I'm agreeing with Harvey, and I'm watching this, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. As I'm watching this, it's pulling me in. I'm like, okay, Murad is back.
Who, not Nicole Westmoreland, but you can be the label, and he was crying this mess, right? Tell me why Nicole Westmoreland did the worst job that I have ever seen for a lawyer in my entire life. Guys, when I tell you Nicole Westmoreland was on that stand crying, everybody in the court was like, why is this woman crying? Why is Nicole Westmoreland crying? It made no sense. Nicole Westmoreland is crying on stage. Talking about how Diddy influenced her. Oh my God, it was insane. Everyone looked at her like, wait, is she crying? Is she crying? She's like, you know, Diddy, when I met him in the summit, he did so much for me. He told me to keep on going. And you know what? I did. I kept on going. He was the first black person to own a record label. He could show you that you can't just sing for the label, you can be the label. And he was crying. I don't know why she was crying. The fact that Nicole Westmoreland was crying was ridiculous. It made everything insane to me, considering the fact that she's done so well. This woman, this is not the color purple, beloved. This ain't the color purple. Do you understand? It's not the color purple. I don't understand why you're crying your eyes out. Talking about how Diddy has influenced people, a black-owned record label, that he poured his heart into this label, highlighting his career and his achievements, that he's helping the community. A very weak argument, in my opinion. That was what I was thinking. I'm writing my thoughts down. This was the first black man to do this. I'm like, what are you guys? What is this? What is going on?
No, I can't agree.
It made no sense. The continuous race argument to me was very weak. Not even speaking with conviction. I was so disappointed with Nicole. Why is this woman crying? Then he goes on to say, oh, I want to talk about how he personally inspired me. Everybody in the call was like, oh my God, like, what's going on? Like, people were like, looking like, bro, like, Nicole, see us and end this. Everybody was like, what are you doing? He changed my life. He's just a human. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And then, you know, moves on to the fact that then she wants to talk about the MDC. Right? Nicole expresses statements of people enjoying P. Diddy's classes and how he can reach to so many more on the outside because he's reached to so many people on the inside. I've never seen him like this. He's changed. We see him every single day. Like, what is going on? I was so shocked. Guys, I was genuinely bamboozled by the fact that Nicole Westmoreland was coming to cry. Look, come on. As in, she couldn't even speak. This is like as if Diddy is her father. I didn't expect her to cry. I expected to come with concise conviction and look at people, but that wasn't what was going on. But I'm just so dumbfounded, guys. I'm literally so dumbfounded, and it worked on a lot of people, specifically the elder women, specifically elder women who, not Nicole Westmoreland, but what I'm going to speak about later on. Nicole Westmoreland, everybody saw through her, and it was a hot mess. But when the children came in, guys, it was a lot. It was a lot. We got notes from all of the children who were speaking throughout: Quincy, Justin, Christian, Jesse, Trance. And it was very intense, very intense. Immediately, when I got Jesse Combs is one of the twins. When she came on the stand, she broke down. She was crying straight away. She was very sad. She kept mentioning the fact that she doesn't have a mother. And I'm so sorry. Even I got emotional, because when you got the twin girls who are only 18 talking about how they don't have their mother, they're crying, they're getting emotional, you're gonna feel a little bit sorry for them. You know, I got a bit teary-eyed. That's when everybody started crying in court, when the kids were crying. But I'm telling you, it worked on these people. It didn't work on me. Because all of this is just emotional manipulation, as far as I'm concerned. Because they're talking about how they kept saying, oh, you know, when we were little girls, etc. Guess who also was a young girl? Cassie. When she got signed to the record label, sitting in that business meeting, she was 18 years old. I kept thinking of Cassie when the children were crying. Like, the Quincy comes in, Sean Combs is my father, changed man, he's evolved, he's transformed, he will never do this again. Then you have...
And I have to say this, I was thinking about Cassie and all of that stuff. I was seeing the ish in my head. I'm like, because as you're listening to this, you're like, oh, he's a great dad. Like, because okay, yeah, I remember when he did that. Oh, wow, yeah, such an inspiration. And it was like, he's on trial. We're not watching a video or a trailer to a movie that's about to be an inspirational tale of how his life was breaking in as a mogul. No, we are in a courtroom. Even though we're not in a courtroom right now, this is going on in a courtroom for a trial that took place, for things that he did, for things that, you know, people that were, you almost get bamboozled by it. And I feel like that's why the judge took that break, so that it could give everybody a chance to reset. He's going to take all of that in, and you best believe the defense is coming to rebut. So I don't know what the Reverend Doctor said. I don't even know if the Reverend Doctor even got a chance to say anything, because the last thing that was tweeted by Inner City Press was, you know, is there anyone else? And so he says, Reverend Dr. Johnson, then the man from the reentry program, if you permit. So they have a prisoner that is coming to speak about Diddy and being a part of his program and an inspiration. What an inspiration he has been and how he's helped transform his life. I can tell you that. Then Judge Submaranian says, any more lawyers? So Brian Steele says, myself, and then Mr. Donaldson. Okay, so the judge says, we'll resume at 2 p.m. And it's like, y'all are putting on this full-on spectacle, and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and y'all are dragging it. Y'all are dragging it. I get it. It's the final curtain call. I don't know if this is going to continue on until Monday or what, but if I was Judge Submaranian, I wouldn't continue this on another day. I would stop this buffoonery and playing around that's going on in my court. Well, let me not say buffoonery, because they're putting on their defense. I would, the sentencing is supposed to be today. I would sentence today. So if we're here till 5 o'clock, we're here till 5 o'clock. But by the end of this day, by the close of this, doing that, because you already got one cat doing that. Don't do it. You already got one. Look, you're about to make me make that part of what I'm about to say. It would just be done today. Because this seems like it's just, I get it. You're trying to put in your last plea, but I mean, God dang, where is anything? It's the victims are liars. Look at how great of a person I am. There's no addressing of anything. But let's get back to what is being talked
Justin, who says, give him a second chance. He's very tough, superhero. He believes in God. He's drug-free. He's changed, more to give, and, more for us as well. Christian Combs says he admits that he's the one that looks like him. I study my dad.
And I want to say, I do commend him for being drug-free, because you do know that people can still get drugs and still get high if they so choose within the prison walls. It could still happen. But this is, yeah. Hey, Marie, I was looking for you. I said, Marie is not in here today. Where is she? Marie says, the judge has always pissed me off because he has always allowed the defense to control the courtroom. I don't think he's going to allow this today, though, because let me tell you something. During the trial, it was said that they were not allowed to bring up. The government was like, he cannot bring up Kim Porter at all. She cannot be discussed. So she wasn't discussed at trial, but now she's becoming the staple of the defense team's reasoning for him to go home, because he has children at home that don't have a parent. Well, and I'm not saying this to whatever, but these are older teenagers and young adults. I mean, it's a last-ditch effort. I don't know if the judge is going to buy it. We're going to listen to a little bit more of what Murad has to say, and then we're going to go back to TMZ, because I'm interested in what Harvey is going to say, because Harvey, who has been very pro-Diddy, is not very pro-Diddy and his team about what is happening today in court. I mean, I don't know, you guys. You guys let me know. Chat, tell me what you're thinking right now. Do you think that this is going to sway the judge? I know that I started a poll. The poll is down there. You guys sound off on the poll. Sound off in the chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking.
My hero, he treated Kim great. To my opinion, I feel like Christian Combs' statement was the most weak, because this man didn't seem like he even cared. The way he was saying it, there was no bass in his voice, no conviction, no nothing. When Jessie gets on stage and she starts crying, everybody then starts crying. Everybody then starts crying, as far as I'm concerned. Everybody starts crying. Cries straight away, very sad, talks about how her mother passed away. Then Trance, the elder sister, she also starts crying when she speaks. Talks about how there's a huge emptiness. She cries, he's becoming a better man. Very good statement. In my opinion, I think hers was the best. She was the elder sister, and I feel like elder sisters will show the most and come correct, in my opinion, when it comes to this. We have a lot more to go through in these notes, child. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. Then Delilah speaks, one of the twin girls. When I tell you, when Delilah starts speaking, you do feel sorry. She says, we are scared. No mum, no dad, and she cries. We are tired of being so strong. And she is begging the judge. She's like, please judge, let him be free. She's begging, guys. And when you've got the judge, when you've got an 18-year-old girl begging for her father to be free, and she's crying on stage, she's done a good job. Whether you might fall for the emotional manipulation or not, she did a good job, because the elderly women, specifically in court, part of the public or press, whatever, whoever these elderly women were in their 50s and plus, they were getting emotional. They were getting very emotional. Very emotional. Very emotional. But I just kept thinking of Cassie in this moment. I kept thinking of Cassie in this moment. I kept thinking of Cassie, because why is it that these people are upset and sad that they miss their father? But what about Cassie? She doesn't miss her life? Mia, who was too scared to come this morning. Jane, who apparently was meant to come, but she was too scared to do a statement. What about them? I'm sick and tired of the shit that people want to just be emotionally and get cry for somebody to evade responsibility. Yeah, you miss your dad, but oh well, that's your dad's fault as far as I'm concerned. Your dad messed up. He even admitted himself in his statement yesterday that he did he messed up. So why do you now, I don't know, I just feel like all of this was pre-planned, in my opinion, because we know that these children have been told to do stuff before. They were crying buckets, guys. Crying tears, buckets. And in my opinion, I'm not buying for it. But of course, people were asking for tissues.
Okay, now this is where my opinion is going to differ, because I'm not going to sit here and act like him being incarcerated doesn't affect his children. It most certainly and absolutely does affect his children. I'm not going to say that the children, especially the daughters, were more in on manipulation. I'm going to say that they really do want their dad to come home. And the prosecution, I mean, the defense was definitely banking on them reaching everyone on an emotional level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say that they were acting and all of that, because that's a very real emotion to feel, you know.
They were rubbing their eyes. They felt sad. They didn't know what to do. You know, they couldn't contain their sadness of the fact that the twins were crying. And I'm like, yeah, they got you. This was the plan. Here you have, is that, yeah, so what we have here, you have Xavier. If you can see Xavier there, tall black guy, that's one of Diddy's lawyers. He's coming out. He didn't say a word today. He didn't say one word today.
Not yet, but he's...
I don't think that he's going to be speaking to anybody anytime soon. He didn't say one word. Yeah, some guy was looking at me very weirdly as I was coming to collect my gadgets, because you have to give your phone and stuff in. Some guy he kept looking at me, and that made me feel uncomfortable. Not only this, guys, but then Quincy Combs gets into a fight in the toilet. This is what I've heard, and the woman I spoke to, but she's too afraid to come on camera, which is absolutely fine. It was, you know, she had these glasses, which apparently had some kind of camera or something like that. What does Quincy do? Boom. He comes up to the woman, grabs her glasses, and takes that off, assuming that perhaps that, you know, he's being secretly filmed. He didn't like it. He nearly got into a fight with this woman, and nobody saw it apart from her and her daughter.
I'm not sure about that, because at the end of the day, those people who are taking the devices, they check your glasses. They're trying to make sure that you don't have glasses that are able to record. So if there's footage, it'll eventually come out.
And I think it's insane that the children want to be talking about, oh, look at my father, he's a new man, he's a changed man, but you're out here fighting women, even today, putting your hands on women and grabbing glasses from their face. Quincy, what are you doing? I'm so sorry.
Allegedly.
And it was crazy because Quincy introduced himself as as the eldest son, and then Justin Combs came into it and he said, oh, I'm Diddy's firstborn. So which one is it? Who's the first son?
Murad, we know what you mean, but
thank you for the supers, guys.
Eldest, and Justin is Diddy's first.
Like, what are you doing? How can you sit here and you're arguing about your father, and you know he's a changed man, he's evolved, getting emotional, crying. Notice it more than ever. They are everywhere. People don't understand that this is obviously going to be a very difficult situation. I just can't believe that Justin tried to fight somebody. When the twins were crying, it worked on everybody in the courtroom. So many people were getting emotional, crying, tears in their eyes, and etc. But who messed it up for? And I think the children are all genuine. I think their emotions are genuine. I don't think the children are lying. I think their emotions are genuine. They're saying there to cry. They probably were coached that, listen, when you get in that stand, get emotional, but it worked. What Diddy's sons and daughters did was one of the best moves that the defense did today in court, because the judge clearly said after that, thank you so much for this. I really am considering your words. I'm glad that you guys have come forward, despite the fact that it's difficult for you to do so. So grateful that they did that. But who messed up? Nicole Westmoreland. Yes, we're currently on lunch, guys. Nicole Westmoreland messed up this conversation so much. She's sitting there and she's crying. I want to talk about how Diddy helped me, how he, you know, inspired me when I met him at I'm like, girl, get it together. This is like, what are you doing? This is not the...
This thing too good, and I got to make sure I preserve it. Straight. Jesus Christ, sandals, nigga. Jesus, take my hand if they thought I was lying. And I'm protecting myself. I'm protecting myself because I got the all renewal sprays, okay? So all is all. That means after she consensually all herself up, all I do is keep the all going now. Okay. So that means, Your Honor, how many times I'd have had to spray this bottle? 50 million times. Is it not consensual, Your Honor? Oh, yes, it is. All is legal, bruh. They used all of that stuff to trump all the extra energy on Diddy. That's what that was about. You know what I'm saying? It was all, yeah, it was excessive oils and all this other stuff. It was weird as well. But come on, son. We were talking about lace baby oils. What about that? You know what I'm saying? What about the other thing that they was promising that was going to be in this case? That's my thing. Because I was coming here to hear this. We see Little Rod pop his cornball ass out here a couple of times. Why he ain't go? Why I ain't hear from him? Why we ain't hear from certain people? You know what I'm saying? So that's me. All is all, bro. You know what I mean? People still using all, bro. It ain't gonna stop nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm like Diddy, though. I don't oil up. You know what I mean? I don't oil up, homie. I'm just like Diddy. I don't oil up. Paru. Can't get me to oil up. Bloods. Never heard one instance where Diddy oiled up. Never.
You can do it. I said, that sentence, which should have been done 5 seconds ago, is still going. Me, super annoyed, right? He started a record lady. We started a, hold on a second. He started a record label.
To everybody who's down.
And I said, okay. And I think, I don't know, didn't Ted Bundy start didn't Charles Manson start a community group, a religious group? Like, what is your point, right? So he's saying he started a record label. He said he started all this stuff. And I was like, He said, back then, if you was young, if you was black, right? There wasn't any place you could get into the record industry. And I said, Death Row, Interstate, hold up, Wade, Suge Knight. I'm sitting here saying, okay, so you're hoping that Judge Aaron don't know anything about hip-hop history. But Judge Aaron is of the age where he should know about hip-hop legacy, right? But you play into the crowd, okay, right? Because I'm pretty sure there were other labels. That's why Diddy got into it, because he realized I have some money. We haven't even gotten to the half of it. Just let me go slow. Going. Nicole Westmoreland was going slower. All right. So then she said he sent a message to the youth. The message was, you can do it. I said, okay, but if he's sending messages to youth, like, what's the example he's sending with this Cassie stuff and the debauchery he lived? He wasn't just an artist or producer.
Absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. We're going to channel surf. We're going to see what the different opinions are of people. We're not going to stay on one person or the other. I am going to skip around a little bit people's lives because they are reading from their notes, but we've already said what we think over here. You guys are sounding off in the poll. Let's see what's.
Yeah, just said hello. Okay, so listen, he got his shooters out here walking them dogs. Okay, so anyway, sorry. He said, I said, why is Diddy the only one worthy? Okay. Also, Allie Berry at 74 said, Tisa, as soon as the sentence is read, please leave, watch your bank and be careful. Love you. Thank you. I 100% will. Okay, right? So then they were saying that like he believed in everyone. I said Diddy was the one notorious for exploiting his artists. What are you talking about? He created a legacy with Bad Boy. He was notorious for exploiting his artists and sending them with nothing. So again, what are you talking about, right? Then he said he spent a lot of years teaching. You can become an owner. I watched Making of the Band. What you talking about? He inspired the community. I literally wrote lol, right? He started clotting. He started showing black people that there was a way. I said, okay, fine. He's an award winner. He designed menswear. For the first time in history, there was a black man, right? For the first time in history, there was a man that made menswear. And in my head, I'm like, you know what? Even maybe 50 years ago, that might have been a big deal. 20 years ago, but right now, we run fashion, we run entertainment, we run sports. It just.
So, this is Tisa's take on things. Let's go back over here. let's go back over here to TMZ.
But don't worry, if there are updates in Diddy, we will let you know as soon as it happens. In fact, put Liam's.
And they're on lunch or supposed to be at 2 Eastern, where more of Diddy's lawyers are expected to speak, and then obviously.
They said that his respect for the law is just lip service.
Shout out to Nika
Okay,
Knight.
she said he is all talk. She said his respect for the law is just lip service, and that he doesn't have any respect. She said so much so that he even booked a speaking engagement for next week. So he's so confident that he's gonna get out and not be held accountable for his crimes that he even booked a speaking engagement next week. And they said, how dare you book an engagement in Miami like you didn't do these things and you weren't found guilty and you're not gonna be held liable. And they wanted the judge to make sure to consider the fact that he's so brazen of feeling like he's above it all that he booked this engagement ahead of sentencing. They said that his conduct was not something that just happened by accident. They said that this was something that was very purposeful, and he did these freak-offs, and they kept reiterating how he did it for over 15 years. They said the freak-offs were not mutual. They said they laid out the different times where the people were not in consent. They said how Jane had to basically beg so that one of the escorts had to put a condom on so that she would not have hanky-panky with like raw people. They talked about instances where he did freak-offs where after they did multiple people, they were done, they wanted to be done, and he still made them sleep with more people. They said that there was evidence of abuse, manipulation, and they feel that requires a significant sentence. They said they cited a case, a guy named Dylan Jordan, and they were talking about how he was basically like this pimp that had prostitutes and stuff like that. And they said that the main theme in all of the cases similar to Diddy was fear, violence, and threats. He said the way that they conduct their business, similar to all of the other people who were found guilty of the Mann Act, they incited fear on a lot of their victims, and they incited a lot of violence and threats. And then they talked about how not only was that true, but Diddy conceded as much as well. He said that they concede to the violence, and if this was a domestic violence case, that they would be found guilty. And so they basically were saying, listen, we want him held accountable for all of that. They said that he had significant harm to his victims, and then they talked about how Cassie had got peed in her mouth. They said that Cassie had to be urinated in her mouth, and they said that up until this date, he has not acknowledged responsibility. They said that he has downplayed the abuse, and he was frequently violent. They said this defendant will pose a danger at any age. So they said this is not merely somebody who did things when they were young, were not aware. They said at the age of 54, he was still beating on women. And they talked about that as that being the Jane incident where she hit him and then he beat her to a pulp. So they talked about that. And then they said that they want the court to send a clear message. They said that they want the court to send a message to victims in the case to where they have a they believe in the justice system, and that they will come forward and have a belief that the courts will work. Now, after they gave their part, then Diddy's team came up. Thank you, Henny, for the super chat. What did you say? Hold on, wait. How can I see it? It says, hey, Nick, thank you for real reporting. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully my mic is picking up really well. It would not let me put my thumbnail. Like, I had created a thumbnail, a personalized one. So I know that that's probably affecting my views or whatever, but whatever. Y'all make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to send in a super thanks or a cash app or whatever to support, because we are boots on the ground, giving you guys a first-hand account of what is going on. Now, as it pertains to his defense.
Okay, now I love Neek at Night, but let's go back over here to TMZ because I'm very interested in what TMZ is saying because y'all know how TMZ has been.
So graphic and so popular that in a way she's followed them.
I think there's always a little bit of like, Taylor influences people, and of course she's influenced by other artists.
Program, if you permit. And then the judge asked, any more lawyers? Said myself and Mr. Donaldson. So 2 more lawyers, and then 2 Reverend Dr. Johnson,
the Reverend
and the
and
reentry
the
program,
reentry
and then
program.
Diddy, potentially.
I mean, that could happen at any moment.
Okay, so
they're on lunch now,
which is great.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
I just got a good story.
Oh, okay.
That phone call was
told
good.
you. I told you.
Okay, we're gonna go. So we're gonna we'll talk to you about Diddy, but we're gonna get a lot of the show done during their lunch break. So we're gonna stay up and.
Feels like a trailer for a movie. Nope, not.
So let's take it back to Harvey's thoughts on this video. The reason I want to go back to Harvey's thoughts on this video is because, again, it's interesting to see how this is being discussed. We'll go back to kind of like channel surfing and seeing who's doing what, but I have to be honest with you, when it comes down to who's giving how I feel I would give it, I feel like Neek is the closest one to that. But when she mentioned about her views, I don't want to take away from her views at all. So I kind of like jumped from her channel because understand this, as a content creator, I never want to just sit and poach, right? So this is why we're just jumping around, getting different perspectives. But I am very, very focused on TMZ right now. Very focused on them. We're going to take a look at the poll really quickly. Let me get to the poll on the channel. So I don't know why I put yes there. Did the video hurt or help Diddy? I put yes, and it shouldn't have been that. It should have said it helped or it was a mess. All right. So right now, the 2 that are leading the most are it was a mess and hell no manipulation. Lock him up. Okay. That's what it's looking like right now. You guys, if you haven't taken the poll on YouTube, the poll is there. Okay. 2% have said that it changed their view on him, which is very interesting because that's what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to emotionally sway you. And it looks like it did. Let's see if Inner City Press has tweeted anything else back out. I don't think that they have because there really wasn't anything to tweet out. No, the last tweet was we'll resume at 2 p.m. Yeah, I'm really interested in what TMZ has to say about that.
Mark Agnifilo, Tenny Garrigus. It is a formidable, it's a formidable team. And they won the trial. I mean, they kicked the prosecution's ass in this trial. This surprises me. This surprises me. I think this video is tone deaf.
Yeah.
It's tone deaf. And if this is true about this speech, whatever the judge was thinking, he ain't gonna go down from what he was thinking. If anything, he's going up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think this could actually push him up. That speaking engagement.
And if you notice, everybody who is covering this case has mentioned that speaking engagement. Is it raining? Oh, shoot, it is raining. Damn it. Okay, everybody is talking about the speaking engagement because it's like the audacity of it all for you to book a speaking engagement for next week. For Monday, I believe is what they said. I believe T and them are saying that it's Monday. Crazy, crazy work.
You're telling the judge, you're a sap. Prove me wrong.
Calling it. They're calling it so cringe.
The video?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
totally tone deaf. This video should not sway the judge in any way.
Well, it may.
In the wrong way.
Yeah.
Piss him off. Like, come on, bro.
Can you imagine the judge is going to say, you know, I was so moved by that video that.
Hey, what is
there any version of
No, personally, no. Personally, absolutely not. And then on top of that, like you said, the speaking engagement thing. Now, if I'm the judge, now I'm just pissed off. Now I'm just. You think you're taking this as a joke,
right?
You think like you said, did you call him you think I'm a simp? Like you think that I'm just gonna be. Yeah, no, it's a slap in the face. The speaking engagement more so than the video for me.
This speaking engagement, I'll tell you, they better address this.
In a week? That's crazy. Like
next week.
Yes, I'm saying. You mean to tell me that you're
today's and by the way, today's Friday.
So not even. I'm like that more so than the video for me.
Now, here's the thing. I've been telling people this whole time along that Diddy has displayed an arrogance, an air. And now that he has, essentially beat the RICO and the SMEX trafficking case, the charges, he does feel invincible and unstoppable. Like, come on now, you got to think about it. You go on case after case with City College. There was no consequence or repercussion for what happened at City College. Henny Glasses in the chat, if you don't know about the City College incident, because I think I can pull a video really quickly to watch the City College bit while we're on break. But City College, there was really no consequence. He was paying people off, this, that, and the third, right? Then you have the nightclub thing with Shine. Shine took the charges essentially and ultimately, and then, there was no consequence for Diddy. And it's like again and again and again and again, it's no consequence for him. And then you got to think that, all these people that he's done things to that we don't even hear speaking out. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Henny Legal, if you are in here, I believe it was from TMZ, that there were 2 more suits. I'm going to pull it up on their Instagram right now because I heard that there were 2 sexual assault lawsuits that came out yesterday. Okay? And hold on a second. Where is it? Because I know I saw it. Somebody hit it. Here it is. Right here. And we're gonna go to their site. Diddy hit with 2 sexual assault lawsuits day before prison. The day before the sentencing, which means they came out yesterday. All of the countless people that have come out and they have spoken and, oh, I got a fraud alert. Listen, first of all, it was me. Okay, it was me. I locked my card. Hello. It was me. Maybe because it was a repeat. They're asking me, like, hey, was this you? Yes, it was me. Okay, I will respond to that in a minute before they actually hold my card. So let's read what TMZ said. Now let me get this up here on the screen for you. Right. So, 2 sexual assault lawsuits on sentencing eve. Diddy is staring down one of the biggest days of his life, his prison sentencing. And now, just one day before that, one day before that goes down, he's been hit with 2 new sexual lawsuits. In new court docs obtained by TMZ, Lakeisha Ward and Dejan Bledsoe, both represented by attorney Busby. Never mind, y'all. Never mind. Nothing to see here. It's Tony Busby. Y'all know how I feel about Tony Busby. I feel like Tony Busby made this a joke. I really do. I feel like he made it a joke. Okay, let's check back in on the poll. All right, so the poll is still going. I'm going to assume that, yes, it hurt him or helped him. I don't know. But it's a mess at 24. Hell no, manipulation, lock him up is at 60 and changed. My view has now dropped to 1%. So only 1% of the people who have voted say it changed their mind. With majority of people saying manipulation, lock him up. Okay, listen. Excuse me. Excuse me. And it's just like, you know, these are our thoughts as a collective, you know, and I'm not just here because I believe that there's somebody who is pro Diddy that is in the chat. And I'm not just, you know, covering, oh, pro Diddy people. People are entitled to feel how they feel, but, you know.
Me personally, but yeah.
Today he's dug himself into a deeper hole. Diddy has dug himself.
I think he has.
Oh,
I think he has.
Judge won't be
Not
messing
or
around.
no, not you see. Victoria got her ears pierced.
Throw popcorn out the
She had some
screen.
big diamonds in it.
We just dropped a poll about thoughts on the video. Give us a few moments and we'll see what the...
91% terrible, I think. And by the way, I think the way you guys view this matters. If this is overwhelming, and I know it's gonna be. I just know it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Tone deaf, not a great idea.
I have another poll for you guys. So I'm going to wrap up this poll and I'm going to end it.
5 years.
And let's get another one going, shall we? Because this
5.5 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the video showed he still has a God complex and hasn't changed at all.
See, I think he's going to go on the low end. He may go on the low end of the discretionary sentence, the guideline, just because, again, judges don't like getting reversed on appeal. And the case is distinguishable, the one that they raised. It is distinguishable because of money, because of some of the things that were said. So it is somewhat distinguishable, but there are exacerbating factors with Diddy too. So I don't know.
The video is for Trump to see, not the judge.
No, that's what I'm saying. If Diddy jumps up at the end, if he realizes I'm screwed, and he gets up and he says, Your Honor, I just want to say one thing, that I understand now what President Trump was talking about, where the federal government weaponizes a case against you, because ultimately you've gone into my bedroom the way the feds did with Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels, that they are very similar, and I now have appreciation for what he was talking about, and that the Justice Department should not be weaponized, and Trump this, Trump that. Donald Trump forgets like that when somebody starts complimenting him. J.D. Vance called him the American Hitler, and he's vice president.
Now, this is true. If he strokes Trump's ego, Trump may just sway in his favor. There is a new poll that is up. And the question is, if sentenced to more than time served, will Trump pardon him? And you guys are already on it. You guys are already on it. 8% thus far say yes. 46% say nope. 14% say he may. And 36% say he better not. Now, understand this. There's a difference between nope and he better not. He better not means I'm not sure, but he better not. Mango Gelato said, how did he schedule a speaking engagement and he did not even receive his sentencing? Child, I don't know. I don't know, okay? If that MFer can persuade the judge to side with him, girl, at this point, anybody need a bleezy. Not a bleezy. Yvette says he may, he may. I don't know. Trump seemed very hurt by the fact that Diddy didn't, Diddy talked very badly about the president. We're almost back in court in a few minutes. Let's get back over here to Harvey and them and finish with what they were saying.
And so you can turn it around with him with compliments, and compliments get you everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's feeling threatened, where he realizes this is going to go bad, do you throw the Hail Mary? Would you throw the Hail Mary? That's actually a poll. Would, if you were in his shoes, would you play the Trump card?
Okay. But remember, Trump already said that he's not going
He
to.
didn't say that. He said probably not.
Okay, so yeah, with that.
Right. That's a fact. He said probably not. You know, he said you're friends with a guy and then you run for office and then they say these terrible things about you. You know, that's what he said. And so, you know, he said probably not. That he would probably not. What I find interesting, and for me, the reason why I say I don't think he will is because, you know, one of the things that I'm looking at is the fact that Trump appointed Jay Clayton to the Southern District of New York, right? And so because he appointed Jay Clayton down there to the Southern District, and Jay Clayton ultimately, you know, that's his man. His mans in them is asking for this 135 months. Now, I don't know if this is a publicity stunt or what, but what I'm going to say to you is, you know, if Jay Clayton is writing up these memorandums and these motions, and we see where the motions are going, they're not favorable to Diddy at all. In fact, that could be telling, because all Trump has to do is make a phone call to Jay and say, fall back. And then again, who knows if maybe Trump said, listen, they were asking for 20 years, give them about 11 and a half, 11 and a quarter, and see, you know, where it goes from there. That's as much help as I'm going to give him. I mean, it's possible. Listen, anything is possible at this particular point in junction.
Stand by. We're dropping the poll now.
Do we see?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Olivia?
Would you play the Trump card if you were Diddy?
No.
I know it sounds crazy, but it may be his best chance.
1000% try, especially if you feel, like you said, that you're done for, you're toast. 6 years, he doesn't want to do 6 years. He doesn't want to do any time.
He doesn't want to do any time.
Anytime. So
I mean,
yeah,
he's clearly
of course.
thinking, I'm going to get out because I'm doing a speech next week. So if
That
now
part.
he's thinking, wait a minute. 3 more years in prison?
Yeah, I'm definitely, especially.
And this is my only chance to do something.
Yeah, and he's already said once that he would consider it, and then he said maybe. So you know that he's already, the train has been turned.
Right, and what you're saying is,
1000%.
I don't really care what the judge gives me because what I'm banking on now is a pardon.
Yep, I'm going to, yeah.
He's not going to, the judge isn't going to change his mind based on what Diddy says.
I don't think the judge is gonna be lenient.
What are they saying?
It's closer than I thought it would be. Oh, it's ticking up. Would you play the Trump card? 58% say yes. 43% say no.
But what I'm interested in, are the 43% saying it's bullshit and you shouldn't do it? Because I'm not saying whether it's a good thing, like morally or whatever. I'm just saying, if you were him, would you play the Trump card?
Here's the thing. If I were him, I would not play the Trump card. You know why? Because based off of everything that he has already shown us, Diddy is about ego. Diddy is about pride. Diddy is about the God complex. For him to do that would mean he's throwing himself at the mercy of Trump to get him out of there. And nothing that Diddy has done gives me desperation. It gives me calculated. It gives me he's playing chess, not checkers with this case. He gives me I'm always negotiating. I could see him negotiating something with Trump, possibly behind the scenes, you know, to get out after. And the thing is, a pardon can come at any point in time. I know that people are like, oh, Okay, you guys listen. Right now, I may have to reconnect in a whole nother way. I don't know if you guys are seeing me or not.